It's a man's world. It's a man's world. What is up, everybody?
How you guys doing?
Community streaming number 50. August 2nd, 2026. What's happening, boys and lady? This never happens.
Never.
Never.
Where are they?
I know. I have the same question. Scared them all the way. Heather scared them all the way.
Let's go turn my camera off and let you guys.
Scared away. What's happening, everybody?
At least we're not talking about flat Earth. That's okay.
That ain't happening.
Yes, that's a good thing. Yes, we'll see what comes of this. I did get what Mac shared earlier in the Synergy group and whatnot, so we have that too. Crystal's trying to join right now. Crystal, you just got to turn your camera on. We'll be ready to rock and roll. I'm sure JK would have some stuff to add to the bloodline families. Dawn is in the house. What is up? All right, we'll get Crystal up here. What's up, Crystal?
Hey, Crystal.
Finally, my computer decided to do a BIOS update right as I turned it on for this.
Shit's all fucked up, Crystal. Fix that shit.
It's doing all weird stuff, right? Start.
She doesn't even know.
She doesn't even know. I'm kicking her out. Tell her to come back. That didn't work. Try again. Sorry, come again. We will get this show going, but that's why I like people to show up early. Now, Mac and Moses came in at the last second, but looks like they're ready to rock and roll, so respect. And I love that it's manpower right now, right? We allowed to say that? Manpower. It's mostly women watching. They're going to get so mad. Or they're super excited to see all these guys on the panel. But so we got a new dude. Chattahoochee Lee. What's happening, brother?
What's up, man? It's good to be here.
God, and Moses, you just got knocked out of the spot for the youngest guy on the panels.
Dang. How old are you?
You got a year on me.
Oh, okay.
All right, we got some young minds in here. That's kind of exciting, but it'll also be interesting to see the indoctrination, what they taught you in high school just recently.
What's that?
Mac, where are you going? Don't leave. I'm ordering a breakfast sandwich too. How's that going for you, brother?
It's going good. It's been so crazy. We didn't expect it to be this busy, so we're like, I took a nap. I'm sleeping 3 hours a night. I just got up from a nap, so if I look a little lost, I am. But it's been awesome.
That's awesome, man. I mean, what time do you guys open that thing?
7 a.m. and then we got to get up at 3:30 to bake the biscuits. So it's an early day.
It is, man.
Yeah.
That's good though. I'm glad that it's working out.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been crazy busy, so that's good.
I am really glad to hear that. Yeah, we were hearing good things. I think you were set to come on a couple panels, but you couldn't make it. But it was like, damn, dude, you guys are selling out and doing well, and I'm super stoked for you. And the whole community should keep rallying and praying that continues, man. Much success ahead.
Yeah,
awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And if people don't know, did you want to say real quick? It's like a breakfast stand that you guys got. What do you call it?
Yeah, we opened. It's called Sea Biscuits. It's a food trailer, food truck, and we're doing biscuit breakfast sandwiches, lunch sandwiches. But also part of it is it's being like a free range human. We want to travel with it and kind of travel the country and see where we want to end up in this ever changing world.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can get Crystal coming in here. All right, Crystal.
Do I sound like a robot?
Yeah, you were. You got your new fancy microphone? What's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. Does it sound better?
Yeah, it seems better now. I hope it stays. I think we're all right. How you doing?
I think it's. I'm okay.
Oh no.
I'm okay. It's just been doing chaotic.
We're getting some feedback, so we're gonna have to figure out your connection. Whoever's on Netflix over there, whatever's going on, kick them off.
I'll mute unless I'm talking to you.
All right. Cass, where are you at? Did you run away? Don't be scared.
I did. Oh my gosh.
You guys
Hold
scared?
on.
many handsome men on this panel.
How
Moses
do I
had to
sound?
turn off his camera just so you felt more comfortable.
I had wondered what happened to Moses. Do I have any feedback? Is
No,
this
you're
too much
doing good.
sunlight? Okay.
The light's a little bright.
The light's bright.
A little bright. Might work on that.
I will.
It's all good though. No worries. But what is happening, everyone? We will get into conversation. What's happening, Valerie? Good to see you, Monica. What is happening? Linda Grad in the house. Okay, Crystal sounds good. Yep. We'll hopefully be able to hear from you though. We're gonna get into some bloodline stuff because there's many different angles that we can go on this. Some of it obviously being biblical, even if you don't believe in the Bible or as far as the story goes or whatnot. It's definitely a historical document. Lots of good information in there. So I'd like to get that perspective in here. Max got some stuff to share on things that I had not even looked at. I just glanced through it a little bit earlier today when he shared it in the Synergy Telegram. What's happening, Dawn Davis? And what's happening, Veronica Rabbit? Valerie's in the house. Joanne, what is happening? It's good to see y'all. All right. And now for the next part of the show, Chattahoochee Lee is going to sing Alan Jackson.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. A lot about living it, a little about love. Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, it gets hard.
Same river, though.
Chattahoochee. I remember one of my good friends was big time country, and he was like, but some of the songs I started learning so well that I was singing them with him. So it's like I'd go and hang out with my rap friends, and then I'd listen to country, and so I had both influences. But go. I mean, just because this is your first time, if you want, I don't want to put you on the spot too much, but you're on the spot. Tell us a little about yourself, sir.
Well, I'm in my 20s. I was class of 2020, and that got cut off short. I found Sabrina and you through Juxtaposition, if many people know who that is. I've done a few videos with them and just been on a search for truth ever since, you know, because that year 2020 really did it for me.
Yeah, he was I hadn't heard this perspective because I hadn't talked to anybody that went through it in 2020, where you were graduating that year and then the bullshit came in. And then you guys, I think you said the last 3 months of school, you basically had to do like Zoom classes, and then you just walked into the principal's office and grabbed your diploma.
Yeah, it was on a graduation slideshow on the local channel, but nobody watched that.
Yeah, I mean everybody's
drive-through graduation event, and that was like a humiliation ritual.
Right, I saw some of those online where they were doing graduations, but it was just people in the cars driving by and people like, you know, standing on the sidewalk, maybe some
masks,
right, clapping and shit, wearing masks.
Yeah, and that video is still up on Juxta's channel. I think you can watch it for free still, but I'm not sure.
Right. So talk about like a wake up, like in a way, praise God, man, because like that made you question a bunch of stuff right out the gate, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Coming right out of the United States indoctrination system right into, well, like, what the fuck is this pandemic kind of a thing, and at least made you question some things. I mean, a lot of the youth just went about their business, and we're excited probably to get out of high school and move on to the next phase. But hopefully a lot of the kids that went through what you went through started at least questioning some things.
Yeah, they either did or they didn't.
Right. You know, many people in the... many people that graduated with you, do they have any kind of the same drive to search for truth because of that?
Not really. I'm gonna be honest, no.
Right. Well,
not that I know of. I have met some people, but no. Not in my school.
And then my last question real quick, just because I was curious, like what kind of stuff did you learn in high school in the sense of like, are they still teaching like evolution and that we can't Yeah, sure. They were already pushing that one. I graduated in 2000. So they were already pushing that in the schools when I was going into high school.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to a private school too for middle school. And even then they had to teach it to us because they knew that was coming in high school and college. So even there, I learned it.
Right.
I never accepted it though.
Right. Even before I ever believed in God, when I thought God was nonsense and all that kind of stuff, regardless of what people believe, I just thought we came from apes. And why are there still apes? Like, if we evolved from apes, why the fuck is there still apes? Why wouldn't we all just be like evolved into the next thing or whatever? That's weird.
Yeah, it's
Like Planet of the Apes. Why don't we have more of that?
Right. We could have like some walking, talking human-like, but ape people or something. I don't know. It didn't make sense. But
Well, I graduated in 1985, Booma, and they were pushing evolution hardcore then too. So it hasn't.
really?
I mean, since any of us have been alive, pretty much, it sucks. Yeah.
Wow. 85, and they were pushing it then. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Cast. You have now taken the mantle of most comfy blanket from Moses.
Listen,
I mean,
I took notes, and that was one of them. I love visiting with you guys, but comfy is definitely key for these, I think.
yes,
just
this
looked
should be a
comfortable last
laid-back,
time,
fun
right?
environment, right?
I'm thinking he had the right idea, so I grabbed my favorite blankies. I have a bunch of them. So here we are.
I love it.
You
And
started a trend.
I bet you by at some point in this show that Moses will also be cuddled up in his blanket, and then we'll have a blanket off.
Maybe.
We had cooler weather the last 2 days here, so we hit
Yeah,
7
it's been
degrees.
cooler here.
So it's been yeah. I wanted a blanket. It's so crazy. I'll take it.
Yeah, and here in mid-Missouri, we finally got some rain. We got some cooler weather. We were able to open the windows more. The cats were enjoying it, both indoors and outdoors, and much needed. I mean, the ground needed it, the grass needed it, the gardens, if anybody still has a garden going, because, man, some of the scorched earth that was going on killed a lot of stuff or made it tougher. But glad to hear that it's a little bit cooler, though, because it's been a heat wave. So, awesome. Well, Moses, what do you think of when you think of like the bloodlines? Because I'm curious about some of the young minds here and what you think about it.
So I have to admit that's a topic that I'm not too familiar on, but obviously, I'm familiar with, those bloodlines that, have been here ever since, ancient Egypt or whatnot, the Catholic Church, etc. I'm excited to see what you guys think about it. My thing is, I never really got into it because it was always like in the truth or Grooster community, you hear a lot about pure bloods, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like there's not really any pure bloods because we're all technically all augmented. You know what I mean? So I didn't really pay too much attention because I was like, I'll get lost in everything. But I am excited to be on this panel to see what you guys think about, so I can actually make up my mind on what to believe and stuff like that. So that's kind of where my head's at with the whole.
I'm super excited to see that this is what we were going to be touching base on. So, yeah.
Yeah. Someone's got a little bit of feedback. Let's see what we got. Moses, you got a little bit of feedback. Might have a fan going on or something. You trying to crank up that cooler stuff so you can break out your blanket and challenge Cass? I know how you work, bro. I got you. It's all good. But yes, so I was talking to Chattahoochee Lee, who had done some work with juxtaposition. Juxtaposition talks about like the gematria a little bit, like 13, like he has this little cadence thing. It always was funny to me or whatever, but it made it stick in my head. It was like 13. What is 13? Unity amongst Masons. 13, unity amongst Masons. You'd always have that because I was always bigger on hearing about 33, and he was always pointing out the 13s and stuff like that. So he's tuned into that, but he was more towards the banking side. But he's also talking about human augmentation. And at this point, in the truther community, which is basically a lot of it's the liar pants on fire community, they'll talk about like the 13 bloodline families. And so you'll get some of those names. We could pull it up, but I've heard a lot of different names, like the Orsinis when it comes to the Italian, family of Orange. You got your obviously Rothschilds, Rockefellers that get targeted a lot in the 13 bloodlines when it comes to a lot of the truther movement. And so that's what I've been indoctrinated with. But I think when it comes down to it, a lot of this stuff is now like elite families and ones that you probably don't hear their name often, or you don't know anybody specifically that are like super augmented, versus the way that they're deploying certain augmentation into the lower classes. So there's a lot to take into consideration now, because where we're at with the whole bloodline thing, going all the way back to where we are modern day, a lot of it has to do with augmentation, right? The things they're bringing in right now.
I think I had shared some, well, maybe I didn't share it on the tall link, but I had deep dived Ancestry and 23andMe. I don't know if you had seen any of that, but somebody had said that Ancestry had gotten shut down. And whenever I was looking at 23andMe, same thing, they had bankrupt in 2024, I believe, and is now private sector. And
Now it's
so,
private sector.
yeah, yeah. And
Okay,
honestly,
you're a little bit far away from the mic, so we want to hear you a little bit more. Just a heads up.
sorry.
It's all good.
Okay.
But yes, there's something about the. I think my mom still does like Ancestry and stuff. She's into genealogy more, you know, obviously our immediate family and stuff like that. But there's Ancestry, there's the 23andMe. I don't know if they even give accurate results in that shit, because some people have sent in like bovine saliva and shit and gotten back certain answers and stuff. So I don't know. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
No, I don't really know much more except for I started tracing the money, and BlackRock had taken over Ancestry and bought them out for quite a bit of money. Back in 2023, 2024, and that merge. And I can't help but wonder that has something to do with the blockchain and the biotech economy for them to be able to trace, because for the longest, if you remember, 2019, 2020, they were advertising that so hard to get you to submit it, send it in, get everything. You know, they were using it for the CDC, and they were the only two that really were funded enough to be able to collect the mass majority of the DNA all over the world. And now they store it, but they're both owned privately, which is insane. I haven't got any further than that, but so I'm curious about the 13 bloodlines, because I don't know much about the 13 bloodlines. So any information that you have about that, I'd like to trail that too. Be interesting.
Right. Yeah, there's 13 bloodlines, but then some people say there's 13 above them. So we can get into some of that. Mac, what's your take on like the 13 bloodlines and that kind of thing?
So I like to connect it with the haplogroups, which is just a DNA marker for ancestral lineage. So according to their science, which I don't know how much of it's true, but I'm sure some of it is, it's where certain populations sprung up, and, you know, different communities, different races formed. So I left a few links in the YouTube chat on, for example, the Rothschilds, like Sabrina talks about, the Rockefellers, and they all have the male haplogroup, the Y DNA. And I think it could kind of show, you know, how these resets and how these things work within the power structure, within the bloodlines. So I'm sure it doesn't have everything to do with you know, race or haplogroup, but I'm sure there's some sort of, there's something going on there as far as I can tell.
Right, and I got that website for this interview. I haven't looked at the links that you shared on the YouTube, but this is one of the pages. I think that the guy that put this together, it's been like 7 years since he updated it, but here's some of the DNA facts that you're talking about. The nucleobasis, or the alphabet of DNA. There are four of them. So you get in the A, T, G, C. I learned some of this in school, I remember. You get the 46 chromosomes. So does this guy or whoever that put this together, do they even get into how much that's been affected? Because now you got the mRNA technology and all this stuff coming in that's going to be a factor that Sabrina points out, you know?
Yeah, well, I look at why certain haplogroups or groups became dominant, and I think maybe in the past, you know, that has to do with past augmentation or someone messing with the gene pool, and, you know, creating augmented humans. So obviously that's pretty hard to prove, but it's just a premonition that I have.
Right. Well, according to this, there are two kinds of haplogroups: the paternally inherited Y chromosome DNA and the maternally inherited mitochondrial DNA.
Right.
Do you know much about this? I mean, we could read some of this if we need to.
Yeah, I'm not super fluent with the terminology, but basically it's just your dad and mom's. So like your dad's dad all the way back and your mom's mom all the way back to however long ago it goes back, basically.
Right.
And then-
Well, I mean, they're talking about something called the mitochondrial Eve.
Yeah.
Approximately 200,000 years ago. So this is interesting. This is one take.
yeah,
Anybody
honestly,
want to jump in?
How
Go
does
ahead,
the
Matt.
RH negative factor play into all of that?
I think somewhere on this site they have I have it somewhere. I can't find it right now, but I don't know as much about the RH. I know I think it has a lot to do with immunity though, like, surviving certain diseases, I'm pretty sure. But I have read a lot about the RH. So
Crystal, are you able to give any info on that because of your experience with some of this stuff?
I've done a lot of research on it. I don't believe any of the RH negative research is definitive. From what I can tell, it depends on what indoctrination group is teaching you about it. But there's obviously something to it because there are very many things about RH negative people that holds true genetically. For instance, a lot of them are very electrosensitive to everything that's electrical. A lot of them have the same type of immunity, or the same type of diseases will make them sick. That's something that CERN has been into, as well as other people doing the cancer monitoring, the new cancer genetic testing that they're doing. And I've seen in some of the papers that I've seen that it talks about that, like for instance, people that are AB positive might be more prone to these 10 diseases, and people that are RH negative of O or A don't usually get these childhood diseases either. So there's something to it. We just don't have definitive proof on what. And what blew my mind just looking around yesterday was how many different people have a genomic database for our DNA all over the place. And I had put a list of that, I think in Heather's chat. I think I did in Sabrina's too. It was kind of mind-blowing because there were like, for instance, people that make remdesivir have a complete worldwide genomic testing, and they were doing that before remdesivir come out, which is interesting. Almost like they were being able to pattern it so they would know what diseases or what markers might make people more prone to certain weaknesses. So it's pretty interesting. And every kind of genetic database all over the world too, not just us, not just America, everywhere. Every major country has at least several major databases. The IEEE has iGEM for us right here, and that's basically everybody. So, especially the United States, they have everybody's DNA in that database. I would pretty suspect at this point if there's not some DNA in every single database somewhere for you. You can't escape them all, because anymore they have got too many different ways to go about it, and so they don't need much. They really don't. It's just the truth of it. I put that list, Booma. I think I sent it to you, but maybe I didn't. I was kind of blown because there are some really interesting things that are DNA databases on there that are kind of off the wall, and you wouldn't expect them to be something that'd be looking for just people's random DNA. But DNA is the new gold, it looks like to me, and I think that goes back to the fact that it's also the new data. So.
Well, yeah, that's what they're augmenting.
Pretty crazy.
I'm gonna pull up a couple. Getting a little feedback, Crystal.
Okay, I'll just click off when I ain't talking.
Yeah, do you got a fan going on?
Not the air conditioner, but it's always running. It's not loud. It's down on low. I don't know why it's doing that, Booma, unless I need a better cord. I don't know. Or I need to like restart my computer again because, like I said, I kicked it as soon as the BIOS updated fast as I could because I was trying to get right back in and not be late. So I've never had my computer decide it was going to do a BIOS update right as I turned it on. It didn't even give me a choice. Microsoft used to ask you, you know, do you want to restart now or do you want to do it later? No, it just came on and went, BIOS updating, do not touch. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But I'll just mute when I'm not talking. As long as I sound clear when I'm talking? Is that better?
But there's like background noise, and then when I talk, I can hear myself. So,
weird.
Right. So go ahead and mute if you're not talking.
Okay.
Might need to reset. Might need to do a little reset. Biscuits, welcome, sir. Mr. Biscuit says, in pharma, we used to go by SNPs, by region identified genetic data for marketing targeting to determine which areas of the country and populations with the gene associated with the drug's indication. Interesting. All right, I'm going to go to this. I think this first one is a share from Mac that is the Rothschilds. Let me pull that one up. This one right here, the Haplogroup R1B. What do you got for us here?
So that is the Rockefellers. So that is basically 80% of your Western European males. So basically the American and yeah, right there. That's mostly. So that lineage is basically what's called like an Indo-European lineage. So apparently a couple thousand years ago, there was a band of people, kind of like the Vikings, that invaded all of Europe, and they brought with them metallurgy, like metalworking, new technologies, and they basically decimated the population that was there before. So I honestly don't know, but I'm thinking maybe that was a past augmentation, or like how did this one group, gain such dominance? So that's kind of like the Western elite right there, as I see it. And then you have some spots in Africa. Some of the Egyptian kings were this lineage, but very successful lineage. And then and when you scroll down a little more, it will show you the famous people that all have this marker. It'll explain to you the origins right there. But a lot of people are probably this lineage right here. At least white guys.
Right, North Caucasus.
Caucasus, yep.
Caucasian. You say does it name some of the bloodlines? I'm trying to get that. Sorry for all the scrolling, everyone. I'm trying to get.
Yeah, it gets pretty in depth. Sorry, I know we don't have time for that.
Right. If anybody wants these links, we can. I think you already dropped them in the YouTube, but we can get them to the other lives as well. All right, where does it start naming motherfuckers?
You gotta go down. Keep going.
Wasn't there like a 14-year-old girl?
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
The presidents were all from the same bloodline.
Yeah.
Who? What were we saying, Cass?
Some 14-year-old girl. I think had done some genealogy stating that the U.S. presidents were all connected by a bloodline.
Yeah, and this points to actually this one right here, R1B U106, is what the British royalty is. All these guys. This is a very powerful group right here of people with bloodline.
Right, the King George lines, the Leopolds.
Yep.
Louis the First, Augustus line. Wow. Okay. Damn. And a lot of some of these, I would say, are the ones that they're like targeting. So what do we got? Benjamin Franklin here said to be part of this line.
And this is probably when Sabrina talks about it, maybe more of the old guard, the people that are losing power right now.
Right.
Biodigital convergence, trying to hang on to it, kind of like Trump. Trump's part of this group.
They even got Alec Baldwin and Woody Harrelson on this list, huh?
Yep.
Interesting. Alec Baldwin, a guy that can murder somebody and get away with it. And then Woody Harrelson, which I do appreciate his movies, not going to lie. But his father being directly connected to, I believe, the CIA. It's pretty well known.
And then obviously, you don't control what you were born into, but it just it shows a good kind of like, the power structures and all these family, what are they called? Shield.
The McGregors. Conor McGregor coming from the Highland Scottish clan, he does.
So there's a bunch of these guys. Most white guys are probably this group, but it will also show, or Western European. But look, Muhammad Ali. Something also you can notice though in the face shape, you can kind of see like this is a certain phenotype of a person. So like you can see, the white guy and the black guy still same kind of similar. If you really start to look at it, it's a look, right?
Right. Definitely came from apes. Just joking. Oh, there's Abraham Lincoln. Here we're getting into Michael Jackson, Kevin Costner, Matthew Perry, which is a very controversial, strange way that he died not too long ago.
Especially if you notice across their eyebrows and their forehead, they all look alike. It's a trip.
Yep. Isn't it crazy once you start to see it? George Bush.
Oh,
You
here we
wouldn't notice
go.
it unless you put them together, like how this is, you know what I mean?
Charles Darwin. Look at that. It's funny how they mix in some of these celebrities like this.
So yeah, that's what I think you'd probably call, if you listen to Sabrina, the Rockefeller kind of power structure. And then the next one would be the Rothschilds. I don't know if you have that one too, Booma.
Yeah, I'll pull that one up next. Woodrow Wilson is in the top 5 worst Americans of history, according to Mr. Biscuits. Yeah.
Sold this out.
Yes, he did. Big time. All right, let's pull this other one up. This is supposedly the Rothschild side.
Correct.
Haplogroup J2. They got the Y DNA, Mediterranean, Roman, Central Asian, and Indian, West Asian, Balkans, that kind of Asian side of things, huh?
Yeah, so this is more of the Middle Eastern, from Iran to Israel to Rome, that power structure. Banking, probably more banking family related. So kind of ancient nobility. And it mentions that they're into worshiping bulls. I don't know why they're into that.
Worshipping bulls, huh?
Yeah, that's their thing.
Yeah.
Like hammered copper bowls, like they're filled with stuff. What do you mean?
No, like
a bowl
right?
with horns. But I think actually, funnily enough, these guys right here are some of the first guys to work with metal back in the day. So we're down to the Rothschild family, if you could see that
right there. They established the international banking business, acquired the largest fortune in modern world history, and established a true dynasty in the 19th century. Apparently belonged to the Haplogroup J. You got all these numbers for them. This is I've never seen it broken down like this, but the Rothschild DNA project, yeah, they've been gathering this info. I wonder when they realized like how important it was to gather this DNA of these different cultural groups and try to find a way to control them as they are doing now.
Absolutely. And I think they're trying to mix and match and try to create new hybrids and new groups as we speak too, probably.
Oh, Bernie Sanders, he's a cutie. Matt Lauer, lovely guy. Adam Sandler, used to love Adam Sandler movies. Ben Affleck, meh. Interesting. Oh, Khabib. Undefeated mixed martial artist in the UFC, retired now. No one knows what I'm talking about, but I do. Interesting. So that's the other side of things with the Rothschilds. Okay. And then we got one more share here that you passed along. What is this one? This is the distribution map of HLA-DR types in Europe.
So this is, yeah, unfortunately it only has North Africa and Europe in here. But this is basically markers of immunity for surviving, different climates and different diseases. So this is probably a little closer to the bloodline discussion, but with blood in general, but just another example of just different phenotypes of humans. So it's a little more vague.
Right. Let me get down to the actual people. Everybody's interested in that. Oh,
This one doesn't have people, but I will send you one more in the chat. Just give me a second.
Okay. This is in Europe, near the East and North Africa. This is an interesting take on things that I have not seen people break down. I hear a lot about, like I said, the various bloodline families. And some of this would probably, I don't know if JK is still here, but JK wouldn't agree, I don't think, with 20,000, 40,000 year old Earth and lineages. He's more of a creationist, which brings another. Go ahead, Crystal.
Have you seen the Mormon one? They have one of the largest databases of just people everywhere. Like, it's pretty crazy.
Yes.
And they work with CERN. They also work with a lot of the big medical and health level 7 and Epic. They have a lot of, they do a lot of it by companies that will go and work with these databases to collect data, saying it's for, the betterment of mankind, but it always seems that they're another way to divide people, another way to separate them up according to everything you could possibly think of under the sun. So it's pretty interesting. Okay. I listed one of their bigger database things in the private chat, Booma. It's kind of interesting. They even try to take it back to the Dead Sea Scrolls and stuff, which is funny.
What's up, Lady Slipper? And then this is the last one that we wanted to share from what Mac has here. And like I said, if anybody's interested in these, then get them from us. Oh, we got another newbie. What's up, Robin? Welcome. Can you hear me? You're muted. We just got to learn how it works. And nice to have you here. Here, I'll pull this down for a second so we can say hi. How you doing, sir?
All right, thank you. Now I've got here.
Excellent. All right, and then Heather's coming back in. She has to flip-flop between a phone and a laptop. Welcome, Robin. How are you today?
I'm okay, thanks.
I see you have a fine specimen there with you. Cutie on your right.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she's into it.
So cute.
She'll keep an eye on you.
Awesome. So tell us about the lineages. All right. Well, welcome. We're going to continue on with what Mac has here, and then we'll move forward. But enjoy the show. And then if anybody has anything to say, just jump in. Unless you're Crystal. Crystal, you got to jump in strategically because of the feedback. All right. All right. Anyway, go ahead, Mac.
This is Haplogroup E1B. This is Black Nobility. This is Orsini. This is the ancient pharaohs, as you can see. And in Europe, it is concentrated in Greece, Southeastern Europe, North Africa. And a few famous people, actually, not funnily enough, but it's ironic. Hitler was this. Napoleon was this. Hitler's a little further down. The Wright brothers, who supposedly invented the airplane flying, they're part of this.
Oh, Lyndon B. Johnson, he's a sweetheart.
Oh, yeah.
Bastard.
Albert Einstein is part of this.
Right, good old fucking Freemason Stein.
Yep. Nick Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Yep.
Past that guy when I was at Disneyland. The one time I went when I was really young. Past that guy, he was just wearing a hat. Had his Asian wife with him at the time, pushing a stroller, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" That was crazy. Now I think back, and I'm like, "What was he really there for?" But who knows? There he is, good old Adolf Hitler. Very controversial these days. Been all kinds of narratives I've heard about him, whether or not he was doing some good things, or whether or not he was a Rothschild puppet. And then here now he's in this lineage. Interesting.
He would have hated himself a lot if he found that out.
Right.
This is a very Semitic lineage, so Middle Eastern, North African, and then a large swath of the African population, West Africans, are this lineage too. So
interesting. And Sir David Attenborough. So if he's one of the famous English broadcasters, if you get him on like the Tree of Life or the Planet series, he does a lot of those. Yes. Oh, yes, exactly. He's the scientist, basically the head honcho in that, right?
Yep.
Interesting. All right. Well, this is that is some information that I had never heard. I've never heard of haplogroups. So there you are. There's a little extra something special for you. And like I said, if you want those links, we can get those to you and dive deeper into that. Thanks, Mac, for bringing that. And if you have anything else to add, go ahead.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't think it's an exact science, but I think it shows a pattern, and it shows just how things had happened in the past. I don't know how accurate it is, but there's got to be some truth to it. So,
right. I have no idea what 10 joules means, but I appreciate it. Thank you. 10 joules. I had not seen that one. All right. Yes, Monica's stoked. That is some new information, and cool. Welcome everybody here. So I see some new people popping in that I hadn't seen. What's up, Region 9 till ya die 231? Always got some interesting tidbits that you drop in the chat. All right, so Crystal, you had this one. Let me pull this up. What do we got here? DNA in the Book of Mormon. Yes, so in some of the research that I had, you will find that a lot of the very powerful people of today, you will not see them on lists, of course. And if they don't want to be known, but the excuse that's publicly made is that if they can't quantify the assets of a family or a person, then they're not on the list. They make an excuse where they can't quantify them. So you still have the Walton family, who started Walmart, as being the most powerful family, allegedly. And you still have guys like Elon Musk touted as the richest man in the world, which is horse shit. Anyways, let me get to this link that we got here with the Mormon system. So the Vatican protects a lot of the names behind their Catholic power. And then the Mormons have a very powerful record of a lot of ancestry. Go ahead.
It's just really interesting. They even use this DNA record to try and prove the Book of Mormon, not just the Bible. Like, they try to tie it back to the Dead Sea Scrolls and stuff too. It's pretty interesting. But I do know that pretty much they have a free, you can pay for a higher upgrade, but I know the Mormon people have like a free genetic database, a basic that you can do. So at least they offer that, whereas Ancestry.com anymore, 23andMe, all that kind of stuff, they like charge for even the smallest amount of information. So it's almost like they want you to go searching so they have more information. That's the way it looks. So,
right.
And there's their connection to God's chosen people. That's what they say. So, interesting for sure. But, Mormonism is about as close to transhumanism as you're going to get. They all believe that they will be a god. So, I mean, and there's a whole big group of Mormon transhumanist. Huge club. So
They, this is my first year of homeschooling, and the good and the beautiful is widely known in homeschool curriculums, and it actually is a Mormon-based curriculum, and
Gotta meet
it's
you, Crystal.
wild. Sorry, it's
Go ahead, Kat.
wild how she's saying how the Mormons are trying to still integrate into society in different ways to be able to connect everybody in what they believe to be, like how she said, them turning into a god or what have you. And the initial curriculum isn't too far off from what you would consider Christianity. So I'm curious as to how that ties into the DNA linkage as well.
Right, and if they have this like large database where they've kept as much as they possibly can get their hands on, it seems from all I can tell, and I don't spend a lot of time researching Mormonism. I do have a lot of family members that are great people that are Mormons. I'm not here to hate on all people. Like everything, it seems to be the top is where the corruption really lies. But more and more, it does seem like Mormons are trying to consider themselves Christians. They want to be accepted as Christians, which would give them access to even more church information if they were accepted by various church peoples in that sector that is also corrupt. The LDS Church has now officially admitted that DNA does not show a Middle Eastern connection. Interesting. So much information on this. Again, this will be a thing unless you got something else on here, Crystal, that's super important that you want to show.
do you know why they say that, Booma? Because they actually believe that they are God's chosen people. They don't necessarily believe that Israel in the Middle East is Israel. They believe it was somewhere else, probably somewhere over here. And that's not all Mormons, but that's like the older part of doctrine, the way they believed it. So, kind of interesting. But they definitely, you can order a book of your last name from their Ancestry. It'll come back very accurate. I know because I have a cousin that's Mormon, and my mom got the book on Kuvion, my grandfather, my mom's father's name, and it goes all the way back to like the 15th century, all following through France, parts of the family that married like side, the outer level of royalty, and then the people that were in every war that we've classified pretty much in the last 200 years. So there's a lot of very accurate things. And my mom has her dad's family tree back to about 4 or 5 generations. And they were dead on that part. Like even cousins and third cousins. And so it's interesting. They've been doing it a long time. You figure what? At least 150 years they've been doing that, just the Mormon Church alone. So it's interesting. The other thing I shared was that other article I was talking about. That's the Science.org DOI. That's above that in the direct chat. And that was what I was talking about. Take a look at all the different places that want our DNA. Just roll down and scroll because it's pretty mind-blowing.
The UK Biobank, mute please. The UK Biobank depends on robotic equipment to help store and access its many DNA samples. Look at this fucking place, man. So this is just one operation and a snapshot of boxes, I guess, of certain genetic material that they're keeping. I wonder if it has to be like a certain temperature and all that kind of stuff. But let me see. Look at all these projects. So what do we got? Genetic data, Human Longevity Inc., 100K Wellness Project, Million Veteran Program, U.S. National Research Cohort, UK Biobank. This is like the new gold. Like, and they are storing it like they're fucking storing gold. Bank in Japan, of course, China, every fucking place, as they put up these data centers and all this stuff that's going on, wants to store all this shit. But this is an idea.
I wonder if they're storing this whenever, I don't know if you guys, I've had kids, so whenever you have kids, they ask you, do you want to keep their stem cells, right?
Oh shit!
they
They
have to
ask
go.
if you want to keep the stem cells,
Mhm.
but they hold
Yes.
on to them.
hmm So it
Right.
started in 2008, and to my knowledge, 2008, 2010, there's a bank that you can have like your placenta and stem cells whenever you give birth, so that if your child gets sick, they can go back, pull from that stem cell, and kill your child. And then you pay a monthly fee to be able to have those stem cells stored, and it's good for your family up to like 3 or 4 generations, and they warranty or guarantee the stem cells for 50 years. And this was back in 2010 when I first knew of it. And the fee at that time a month was like $3,500 a month, which was astronomical. But as we're getting into the data centers or whatever, I wonder, are they keeping, right, those stem cells on top of these bloodline linkages, on top of whatever else they're storing for whomever else, and where they're all being implemented? And are they all tied in together?
And that's just what they're telling you when you give.
That's the commercial. Yeah, that's the commercial or retail information that we.
How would you
I'll
ever
have to
know
go and
if
look.
actually?
I have a pamphlet on it and everything from back then. I'll have to go through some of my totes. It would have been with my daughter's birthing stuff, but it's insane. I wonder how much of a difference it is now. That was decades ago. You know what I mean?
Right, and how would you ever know if you were actually getting your stem cells back? They would
Right.
probably,
Right.
who fucking knows?
Cass, I don't even think it goes back a lot further than that. I think the difference is they changed it from do you want the possibility of, which is what they said in the 90s, right? And even before then, they talked about it, that they were already doing research for stem cell like saving. But then towards like the middle to late 90s, they started, some private hospitals were already offering it, but now it's become stem cell as a service, like software for a service. Now it's stem cells for a service. I believe it'll get to the point that particular DNA for a service. I believe that's what they're going to do. If they can't sell it to you, it's not worth nothing, right? That's the way that works.
It's kind of like going back to
Excuse me.
using
I
your
knew
urine.
I knew someone in high school who had a little brother through this technology. Just wanted to put that out there. I don't know them anymore, so I can't speak on it. But yeah, I do.
What do you? What exactly do you mean by that?
I mean, not a custom baby, but like, yeah, through this stem cell technology, his dad did. Yeah.
Do you know what state? Was it Cali? Tell me it was Cali. It was
No,
Cali.
I'm in Georgia.
You're in Georgia. Okay. And would he have been your age, or would the sibling would have been younger than us?
No, he was a baby.
Obviously.
He had like just been born a couple years ago. Yeah.
So is this
So
like
it
a
was-
clone, like a genetic replication of the fucking stem cells?
We need more
the
details.
I mean,
You don't know, but I mean,
I'm
like,
not
let's
sure if
just
it's through a
speculate here a
surrogate.
little
I
bit
didn't
about
really
this.
ask questions.
Right. So, like, I mean, is this an egg and an embryo? This is not fucking this. This is not. This is a genetic clone of the stem cells.
How they sell it, Booma, is they tell you, oh, well, if anything ever happens, if your child gets cancer, the best thing in the world to have is your own kid's already stem cells. And so that's how they sell it. They tell you that, because of all these genetic diseases, if they have your child's actual stem cells that they're holding on to, they never really go into detail as to explaining exactly where it's stored, any of those things. It's just, like I said, stem cell as a service. And that's what it's going to be. And then it's going to be DNA, and it'll be a particular haplogroup as a service. Eventually, I believe they're just going to keep whatever they can sell you, so that you can either make your life longer or more productive, or add intelligence, or get rid of a particular genetic defect that your family has that you don't want.
A designer baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also knew some Mormons. I got a relevant story here. So I knew a kid who was part of the LDS church, and one day he sits next to me in language arts class, and he has like 3 pages of lists of names, and he tells me what he's doing. He's like, I'm just listing everybody I know from anywhere all the years of my life, and he was just doing that. And he told me to do it too, and I wasn't gonna. That's just a waste of time. I feel like this was before class started. That's just what he was doing in his free time. Just a fun story.
Wow. You guys, these are some interesting ones. I still want to
Maybe
go
that's
back.
what he was learning at the temple. I'm not sure.
Right. The Mormon thing, man, it creeps me out. Like I said, I got some great family. I've met a lot of really great Mormon people. Really go out of their way to be nice people, and I don't think they're doing it for evil purposes. I think they really
I mean,
believe.
I've been invited, so I'm not saying that they're bad or anything, but that's just what I observe.
Right. The stem cell thing, though, and maybe we could just, are these stem cells coming from the other child, so they're already, got the stem cells of a newborn baby, and then they're using that to create a new baby. Is that what we're getting at for clarification purposes, Crystal?
What they're talking about is whenever they do cancer treatment on a child, they always are looking for bone marrow, things like that, correct? Well, if they save your actual child's stem cells, and they don't even need to save the actual stem cells, they need the code. They need the code from those stem cells, what it is, and very little actual, if anything, biological. Then they can use that and store that. Used to be they told you it was the actual tissue, but looking at where technology is now, I don't even think they need that. It's like what Sabrina said about how they could take neurons from your head. We're not seeing little neurons fly away, right? But they could take the code that belongs to that neuron and extract it like feature values. I think that's what they're working on with the stem cell research too, is how to save that, because everybody's stem cells are unique, every single person's, and stem cells themselves will help anybody because they're the type of cell they are. They're undifferentiated, and they can be differentiated into anything. But I actually think that's what they're going to do, because that makes sense, and that doesn't take as much room to store. It would make sense too why we got to have so many databases, wouldn't it? I mean, it's another reason. So just something that crossed my mind when I was thinking about it, because Sabrina's always saying, sell software as a service. It's not going to be any different with sell intelligence as a service, sell healthcare as a service, sell your perfect height and body type as a service, all based on genetic databases.
It would make logical sense then that they would be able to take the DNA from somebody's stem cells, store it away, and then use it later to make a new baby. I mean, I
do believe that technology is possible, Heather. I believe it is.
And I think with everybody having the toxins in our environment, reproduction rate for us and population control, they're going to have a specific, that perfect DNA down our family bloodlines, trickling out the diabetes, trickling out, what other health complications you could have. And then going to like how China, you're allowed to have one child, whether it be a boy or a girl.
So make it count.
And if you can
sell it, like why
program
you
your
do that?
child,
Because you're I bet they sell it like if you don't do it this way, then it's like kind of mean for your child. Like you could be doing it this way, and if you get cancer, it's your fault or whatever.
Normal human intelligence will be considered to be a detriment. You'll be considered like somebody who's developmentally disabled. And I don't think that's that far.
For somebody who hasn't had a kid yet.
Right.
What'd you say, Lee?
Imagine how scary that is for somebody who hasn't had a kid yet.
Right.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
I think, Crystal, are you even still there audio-wise?
Yeah, but I'm going to go out and come back in because it froze me for some weird reason.
You want to try restarting your computer? All right. Why don't you just go ahead and do that there, Crystal? I'll just go ahead and make that decision for you. And Robin, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring you up while you're eating. If that was what you're doing, I saw you down there, brought you up, and here's how you're eating. Sorry about that, bro.
No, no worries. I was just waiting.
Okay. Did you have anything to add here?
No, not really. I just it's quite amazing what they've done, and now we look back and see that it might be for something else.
Yeah.
Usually
Yeah, some of this stuff is freaking crazy. That's why I have to have a sense of humor about it. So I'm just going to warn the young guys here, which would be Moses and Lee. The sex bots will be analyzing DNA in real time from the jump. Is something to be aware of, as Mr. Biscuits is pointing out here. So if you know, you decide to go that route for whatever reason, just letting you know, your DNA will be. It's like a sex bot honey pot.
Right.
To be aware of. And
I've seen the videos of those conventions. I know, man.
Yeah, they're going for that pure blood, young blood DNA.
Oh God.
They're going to be searching you guys out. They're going to be looking for you, Moses. They're coming for you, and they're going to take that blanket. So I hope you have multiple.
You're screwed.
Jamie's here. Jamie, I know you got some shit to share on this, and I'll get to you other stuff here, Mac. Let me go see what the old Jamie's got on the Substack, because I'm guaranteeing is something. You guys so wild. Shit. Here we go. There we go. Let's see. Where you at, Jamie? I don't see shit. Jamie, do you know how to use Substack? Come on, bro. You got to put that shit like in the you in the chat, get in the Substack, the D Mind Boomasan Substack chat, so that I can find it. I don't know where you put it, but I do want to hear what you have to say, or what you wanted to share there, because you got some wild stuff to share. Okay, so Mac, are you still here? Are you making me a sandwich?
I can. Digital sandwich coming your way.
Someday when you roll through some place near me, I'm coming and I'm paying for it, but I can't wait to try some of this shit.
Absolutely. You'll get the free range discount. Absolutely.
Oh, there's a free range discount. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's pull this up. What do we got here? We got let me pull it up and we will take a look. Anthroposophy and Mormonism, two tributaries of the secret stream. Wow. Okay. Go ahead, sir. What do we got here?
I just got to find it. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. So it's a bunch of PDFs, but here's an abstract if you want me to read that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's basically just more tuned to like becoming a god, becoming your own god. Which there's been some debate back and forth. I guess I haven't been here for that. But it just kind of shows how these mystery schools are kind of all intertwined with Steiner, who has a lot of good things to say, a lot of interesting things, but mixed in with Mormonism.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're good now.
Okay. Yeah. So there's just kind of that another kind of bloodline lineage thing. These people all work together, and
right. I think at the top, right, a lot of these religions are really connected, even though they'll try to separate us, and it's just like politics or whatever you want to say. What is anthroposophy, real quick? Do you have a definition for that?
So that's basically, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but Rudolf Steiner's work. So especially in the New Age, he is like the guy. He talks about the different types of demons, and I'm sure JK knows about a lot of the stuff.
Right. I know the name. For those that do listen, every once in a while we get people that do download these for just podcasts, so you're not able to see the screen. I'll go ahead and read this abstract here. This paper explores the connections between Mormonism and Anthroposophy, framing both as part of a broader esoteric spiritual stream aimed at facilitating the evolution of the human soul. It investigates the implications of recognizing the divine feminine within Mormon doctrine, contesting the traditional narrative of silence and marginalization surrounding this aspect, and suggesting a more prominent role for the divine feminine. As that'll trigger JK. As also seen in Anthroposophy. Key historical teachings and personal experiences are used to substantiate the claim that both movements share deeper spiritual similarities.
So I think the key term here is facilitate the evolution of the human soul. So I think these types of belief systems are for people who are a little more spiritual, individualized spirituality, but
right.
I think it kind of catches that group.
Right. And then here's what Crystal was touching on.
Yep.
They want to become gods. That's a lot what you get in the New Age movement. And I know there's some people here that take that approach, but it's not exactly maybe how it might be phrased or whatnot. You're not trying to become God of everybody else.
But Joseph Smith was 33rd degree Mason, so I do think those go hand in hand here.
Right.
That said.
Yeah, and absolutely. And these, I think they popped up around the same time too. Obviously Steiner's from Europe, and then Mormonism. Joseph Smith is actually from Vermont, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, which I just found out.
Yeah, they're traveling east to west, And I've been told Mormonism is kind of like Freemasonry for the whole family, like for kids, wives, everybody. And they also do all that polygamy stuff, so that ties into DNA and having a bunch of kids.
Yep, good old Utah, spiritual hub of Mormonism.
Well, they they do have that secret temple or whatever that you unless you are a part and you pay to be there and stuff, you cannot go in. I worked with a girl whose sister got married, and they would not allow her to go to the wedding because it was in the temple.
Wow. Definitely Joseph Smith had it right in many millennia later written New Luciferian Bible. Crystal, what do you got? You're unmuted.
Does it sound any better? I don't want to sound like a robot or freak out either.
You sound quiet, and I can hear myself. Like there's still. Did you reset your computer?
Yeah, so weird. I was just gonna say that I understand what Heather's talking about, because their temple is where a lot of their most sacred rituals happen as they move up in the whole guard of Mormonism, closer to the top of the leadership, and right down to, there's people in the same family that can't go in unless they've actually been initiated into that part of it. So it's pretty interesting, that's for sure. They do have a lot of rituals or different levels that are a lot like the Freemasonry levels are. Very, very close.
Yeah, I think it's also really abusive to a kid to practice polygamy, because no way you're raising all those kids. And also their cathedrals, they don't got windows where normal churches would have like stained glass. They have bricks. You can't see it, and it's definitely private.
It has nothing to do with bloodlines, according to Jamie. Jamie, you have some very, very interesting views. You're going to have to give me some sources of where you get this stuff. Steiner, Blavatsky, Ike, Sarian, however you say that, Jordanus, Maximus, all shit heels. Theosophy only works according to their ways. And then I wanted to get to this other comment that you made, because some of this stuff is like the really maybe tougher realities. Some of the stuff that you talk about, the stem cell anus trade is the origin of the NYSE. all Masonic organizations, nobility, royalty, lawfare, etc., are all Esau slaves to Jacob, to rape, pillage, and slaughter humanity, then will be killed also. That's very uplifting and lovely to hear. I'm gonna need some sources though. All ritualistic behavior is relentless, insidious sodomy to collapse the left brain hemisphere. Hey, I do believe some of this stuff's going on. I don't know where you get your information. That's what I'm looking forward to at some point hearing from. Thank you, Bob Hunter. Ask away, sir. Ask away. Someone else had a question earlier on the Mormon thing. What was it? Do they take their mother or their father's name? It's the father, right? It's a very male-dominated. I think it was painted torso.
According to the actual genealogy website, they say they give each equal weight, but whether that happens in real life or not, I don't know. But that's what they say, because they said genetic is 50-50 for mom and father. So that's a little different, that even though they believe they're God's chosen people, because that's not what the Hebrews do, the Israelite people. So,
but it's very male dominated, right? It's only the males that get to have like multiple wives. It's not wives having multiple husbands.
Right. It's only one way.
All right. Go ahead, Bob. Whenever you can. What's up? Loving Life 888. Welcome everybody. Okay, here we go. Rabbi Sabtai Zevi created much of it. The upside down hangman of tarot is symbolism of the upside down thinking of the sodomized brain.
We're gonna have to do a Jamie special, the sodomized brain.
I know, Jamie, you got to bring it, and I mean, it won't be the most. It'll be difficult. Some of that stuff will be difficult, but some of that stuff is exactly what's going on. All right, Bob Hunter. The question is, who are you as a human? That's a good question. It's a very deep one, right? With where we're at now, who are you as a human? Because, okay, so we didn't really have this conversation deep on any of the ones that I thought we might have it on. The difference between human, which some have broken down, hue as an H-U-E, as in light man, or mankind. I've heard it broken down as in kind of man. JK, put in there what you've said. I've heard you break down the difference between human and mankind. Yes, human. Is it the false? Is human false light man or what? Like, what's up, Colin?
So I've heard it like human. It's like you're the hue of a man. So it's like they took mankind and went for sort of like a hybrid kind of thing. And then I guess it depends on what dictionary you're talking about. What definition are you talking about human? Because depending on the dictionary you're talking about, you're going to get a different definition of what human means.
Bob, are you directing this at me? Who is Booma-san? I mean, you can keep throwing money at me all day, bro. Keep on throwing that money and throwing those questions, baby. I'll answer whatever I can. I mean, I don't know what you want to know about me.
They're kind of vague questions, though. It's
right. Like, we can go in so many different directions with that. Be a little more specific, but hey, and you don't have to keep throwing money at me, but if you want to, you can. So here we go. JK says, human comes from God. Mankind, humankind, comes from Satan. Oh, it was the opposite of what I thought you were saying, which is what I've heard before. Human, shade of a man, no longer a man. So is that like Nephilim? Like more Nephilim than genetically God created human?
more or half and half. Like would it be just like breeding where you're not going to get exactly 50% and 50% when it comes to your, you know, what traits, what side it comes from. So if it's a hybrid, I mean, there's so many, it's not cut and dry to me.
Right. When it comes down to it, no one is fully free range, but in the definition of what we're trying to say is as much as we possibly can mitigate and stand against the forcing of being augmented. That is what we are, as free range. And
Mhm.
spiritually, there's things too. It's not a simple question. Who are you? Shit, man. I can talk about my passive addiction, getting into recovery, and starting this channel, what woke me up, what I like to eat. Like, come on, Bob. Keep bringing me that money if that's the kind of
You
question.
know what this reminds me of? It's like a job interview when they're like, so what are your intentions of working at this company? Or who are you as a person? And then you say, well, my hobby, no, those are your hobbies. Who are you? What the hell, man? What do you mean?
It's very
Right, I'm a
vague.
44-year-old white American, not an authority, not a truther. I'm a truth seeker. I am in this whole free range human idea of trying to not be augmented as much as possible. And I'm trying to create community to discuss these things. And I am a Scorpio. If you have a problem with that, then throw another $2 at me and we can talk about it.
Yeah, but what's your moon sign?
He said he wants it for all of us because I'm very similar to Dorian, only I'm female and I'm 39.
If you want to go around the
And
whole
the
fucking panel,
Cancer.
bro, throw a 20 at it. Throw a 20 at it and see if we dance. And there's another one that comes up. So when you talk about the bloodlines, you got the Merovingian, however you say that. Merovingian. Someone else could probably say it better and pronounce it. Well, I haven't seen you for a while, Velveteen. Hope you're doing all right. But yes, that one comes up a lot. I think Fritz Springmeier covers a lot of that. Some people don't like Fritz Springmeier. I think some of his work is skewed. He did work with directly affected MK Ultra victims. I did see him in a recent interview where he did say that he does believe like the whole like military and stuff is being run by AI now. So maybe he's made some adjustments and some research into where we're at current day. But everybody has their own take. I do believe they framed him as a bank robber, and I think that was retarded. And they did that to make him look crazy. So I don't know why they would do that if he wasn't like getting some truth out there or not part of the system. But who knows? Chocolate was my main reason for incarnating. Well, at least that's how they convinced me to incarnate. All Charlie needed to come back here was chocolate. They lured here with chocolate. I love it. JK says, Hugh, man, one whom is in tune with the divine and understands that we are nothing but spirit having a human experience. I am in tune with the divine. I comprehend that I am noting but spiritual. I am nothing but spiritual, experiencing this reality by living as a human.
So you're a spiritual being inside a skin suit having a human experience on Earth.
There you go, Bob. There's Mr. Biscuit's answer. He says, I am a domestic terrorist, Bob. Please send money.
I mean, shit, you want to send me somebody? I'll answer some questions.
Yeah, man. Who sent you, Bob? There's a question right back at you. Oh, shit. Everyone. Just admit that you don't know who you are. Hey, there's a lot of things I don't know, and some of them have to do with me. I don't know who I am.
Yeah, I'm definitely still figuring it out, man.
Right, that's the search, right? Who am I? Who am I in Christ? That's where my faith lies, and I still have a lot of questions about that. Skunk food, okay, that's lovely. $4.99, thank you, sir. Skunk food. There's another something to throw out there. Then here we go. Is it Daragon or is it Dragon? Dragon bloodlines mean keepers of specific knowledge. Now, I've heard a lot about this. We had a lady on here that was going to talk about some of these things, but when it comes to the dragon bloodlines and the keepers of the specific knowledge, if anybody ever wants to come on and talk about that, that would be interesting. But yes, the bloodlines and that whole thing is certainly yes. Keep bringing that money. Let's have a discussion with money. Bob, who are you? I've never even seen you before, Bob. I got all excited because you're sending some love, but I don't know if it's really love. Maybe you just have some money and want to talk some shit and get some attention because you're throwing some money. Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Excellent question.
All right, Mac, where are we at with some of the stuff you were sharing? I got the scientists use stem cells to create Neanderthal-like mini brain for the next one, correct?
Yeah, that was a while ago, but that's just related to them testing out neural networks and kind of experimenting with those different neural networks, but probably also guiding human evolution, maybe the wrong word, but augmented humans. They're studying all those networks and organ on a chip. I know Sabrina talks about that a lot. So that was a while ago when I posted that. But
Neanderthal like mini brain. The evolution of modern day human has always been a topic that has been shrouded in mystery. Some of what is known as the Neanderthals, an archaic human species that lived on this planet up until about 11,700 years ago, controversial to some, interbred with our species, Homo sapiens, at some point in time. Although their brains were about as big as ours, anthropologists think they must have worked differently due to the fact that they never achieved the sophisticated technology and artistry modern humans have. And some people would push back on this because this is the kind of indoctrination level university that will only pay for certain studies and only pay for certain information to be published. So,
yeah, I think.
Question.
Oh, go ahead.
You are a little quieter now, Crystal, so it's harder to hear you. So I don't know if you need to go into your settings or.
Any better? That's so weird.
Are you still using that external microphone?
Yeah, I didn't touch any of the settings either. I just turned it off, restarted it.
All right, just talk louder, I guess.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's just quieter.
I know that when we were talking about neural networks and stuff, I had read on the X that when they sent those people, like the test now, flight with the astronauts, when they were sent up, and they came back, and there was a big talk about it, and people thought their actual bodies met.
I love you, Crystal, but you gotta dip out. Maybe if it's not gonna work, then add your 2 cents in at the live chat because something's definitely wrong. Here we go. $5. All right. Know who I am. I am a beautiful soul full of love, kindness, compassion. Love is unconditional, free. Why can't we understand this simple truth? Well, it's a beautiful message, but there's conditions to everything. So I don't know. It's a beautiful message, though, Bob. For $5, I'll take it. Agree to disagree. Thank you. All right. Well, it was a lovely answer. If that's what you wanted to share, then you got your chance. But if you want to throw some more money, by all means. And well said, Bob. JK says. All right. And then you had. I'm sorry, I had to kick you, Crystal. You turned into a robot, and it's distracting. So we'll go to the next one. We got stem cell research. Scientists use stem cells. That one? No, that's the one we just went through. Okay.
And then I just put a few other links to someone in the chat was talking about the Merovingians. So I linked that.
Yes. Good. Because this is one that comes up a lot with us, right?
Right.
The sacred. So how do you say that? Merovingian dynasty. Oh, so this is the Haplogroup talking about it. And it says, amidst the chaos that followed the collapse of the Western Roman Empire, a new power arose. Their Merovingian dynasty. They were the predecessors to the Carolingians, the family of Charlemagne that formed the Holy Roman Empire. And indeed, the Carolingian dynasty descended from the Merovingians. It remains in some families today. I bet a lot of families.
Yeah, and I think I don't know too much about this whole group, but I think maybe they're kind of seen more as a neutral group, not good or bad. But I actually got my 23andMe, and I'm this haplogroup, supposedly, which is like a really. This haplogroup right here, I guess, were kind of they were decimated in some sense, but they survived, I guess, in Italy. But just again, interesting why these certain groups were in power at certain times, and then this guy got his head chopped off right there.
King Louis the what 16th?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. And then it was also on the screen King Richard III of England. Wow. Okay. And then the Merovingian Queen Clothaire the First. Not aware of that one. Wow.
And then I also put just for research purpose, there's like the Viking haplogroup down there too, which some people are interested in. So
I love the Viking stuff. I mean, it's not necessarily in line with my my faith and whatnot, but there's something about it. I don't know. Let me pull this up. This is the one, the Haplogroup. What is it? L1.
I1, I think.
I1.
Yeah. And it just kind of shows where that all started and where it came out from.
And it says the Haplogroup I1 is the most common type of haplogroup in Northern Europe.
Yeah, and these are like the Paleolithic cavemen of Europe, supposedly. These guys.
Let's see what we got. We got some names. We got some people.
Yeah,
all right.
You get some people. You'll see a certain type of face, kind of. Let's see. There'll be more down there too.
Right. Some of these I'm not too familiar with. The Lee family of Virginia and Maryland have been found to belong to this group. Richard Lee, Robert E. Lee, James Wilson, Andrew Jackson, Beethoven, Leo Tolstoy, interesting, Theodore Roosevelt, interesting, William Faulkner, Jimmy Carter.
You got Buffett there, Warren Buffett, Bill Clinton.
Warren Buffett started 23andMe?
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
What the heck? I didn't know that either. Is Jimmy Buffett related to Warren Buffett? Interesting. Bill Clinton. Oh, and then Sting. Good old Sting. What was that sexual practice he was said to participate in where he would have sex for hours on end and long orgasms and stuff? It was a thing. I don't know. It's probably just a bunch of bullshit just to make people love Sting even more. Heather knows.
Some like prana thing or something.
About that. No.
Heather, tell us all about that. I know you know, right?
I plead the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
My fifth. I think it was tantric. Oh, it was tantric sex, I think, right? Does that sound right?
Sounds right.
Robin knows.
How about you know? I think you might know a little bit more. You're the one coming up with the names.
I love it, Bob. Yes, we're brain dead. Throw more money. Call us more names, please. Always add dollar bills to it. You can bring it all you want.
Make it rain. Make it
rain the brain dead money. You're brain dead for fucking putting money in a chat and calling people brain dead. But
show me some of that love and light, Bob. Show me that love and light.
Right. Show me that love and light. You're such a love and light being. Calling us
brain dead. Come on here, man, and show me your glow. Come on.
Fucking hypocrites with money. It's lovely. It's a beautiful world that we live in. Huh, Moses? Moses, have you heard of tantric sex?
I have. I think it's like from Indian descent or something like that, or the Asian, or like Taoism or something like that.
Wait, what was that last word?
Taoism.
Tao? Okay. Yeah.
Something like that, right?
I think it's a Vedic, a Hindu thing.
Yeah.
I think it's related to that somewhat.
Yeah.
So Sting got into that for whatever reason. He got bored or something. I don't know.
Right. Just spending days on it and having sex. Yeah, whatever, man. All right. I guess when you're rich and you've sold your soul and you have some extra time on your hand, I come on just in time to hear Booma say tantric sex. Welcome to the show, Laura. Glad I can help. I always got to bring in some of that, you know. Oh, Bob, poor little fella, right? I don't know who comes in and drops that kind of shit. I know, right? Is it really Mike Gill? He don't got no money, so it definitely ain't Mike Gill. Taoism is huge in Hollywood. Oh man. Oh, and there's tantric yoga. Lovely.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, your money you can claim to expose it all you want, man. You're just helping this stay afloat. So the
It is Mike Gill. I knew it.
I know, right? Somebody fucking gave Mike Gill a little money. He got a little tipsy, and for some reason he named himself Bob Hunter 1339. 13 unity amongst Masons. 13.
maybe he got some YouTube credits and that's what he was using.
Yeah, maybe.
I have no
Velveteen, tantric sex is heaven on earth. Oh,
Okay.
personal experience. All right.
It just
All right,
sounds
let's
like
go knock it.
you're making love, right? I mean, okay.
I
You're
mean,
taking
for
your
a
time.
long time. I hope you're hydrated. Right? Bob bullies and provides reparations in real time. Karmically neutral verbal abuse. That's a good way to look at it. Karmically neutral. He's throwing money and supporting the show while bashing the show. It's an I've not had that before, but it is welcome.
Very Taoist.
And real Colin Wise, post menopause sex, fun and tears, then disappointment.
Oh, good lord.
That's not as lovely as tantric sex.
That's not the same.
Cass, do you know Bob Hunter? Be on it.
I have no idea. It'd be, listen, it's a small world anymore. I don't know Bob Hunter.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
The truth comes out.
Well, he's claiming that, or he's at least throwing $2 and saying, "Ask Cass, you fool." So, you in on this? Is this? Am I getting punked right now?
listen, anything I can help too.
Hey.
I told you this. Anything I can
Hey,
do to
bring
help build the
all
community,
the trolls
build
that
the
have
land,
money and want to
fund
throw it at me.
whatever.
You can say whatever you
I
want
know
to
you
say
can
about
handle
me
it.
and throw money at me.
Yeah.
I love it.
We'll
Go,
put it to
yoga.
good use, I'm sure.
How big is your bead? Okay, let's get back into some of the actual bloodline talk. I think you had one more, right? All right, we had. Oh wait, no, we did that one. Excellent. And I'm sorry, Crystal, if you're still watching, if you're in the live chat, say stuff in the live chat. It won't turn into a robot. JK is highly against yoga. I think we could start a war with some of the ladies here that are into that. There's one lady. I don't want to get her in trouble.
Well, I
not
know
that I'm
yoga.
getting her in trouble. I don't want to say anything because she's not here, but that she actually teaches yoga. So you're pissing her off, JK. Dirty Birdie Booma. I myself have not done the tantric sex. Heather's withholding her knowledge of the subject and experience, so it is what it is. But Robin, where are we at in this conversation for you? Are you Bob? Are you actually Bob? Are you fucking with me?
No, I wouldn't be throwing money at you.
I love your honesty.
I think I'd
I
go
love your honesty. It is
198
free to
below
come on and
Monica.
join. Go ahead, sir. Sorry.
I have heard of it, but I can't say I've practiced it.
Okay.
More like a chicken, on and off, you know.
Right, there you go. I mean, that's all it takes sometimes, right? And time is money. Bob's still coming. Oh no, now he's attacking Kaz. He's saying he disappointed me. Free your voice, my sweet. That's who he's really here for, Kaz.
Well, Verona conference, okay.
Verona.
Well, listen. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. No, I have all the love for Bob. If it's the same Bob that I know. He's amazing. Nothing but good things to say. But I don't know what that has to do with our conversation with the bloodlines and the stem cells and all of that.
I know. It's just he's throwing money at me. I'm being distracted. But Robin's got the quote of the day, right? He's claiming to know you, so I wanted to know, is there's some kind of connection here? But Robin's got the quote of the day according to Charlie. Laugh my ass off. Robin says, "No, I wouldn't be throwing money at you." That was good. All right. We can move on from this.
Job.
What's that?
That's Bob's job.
Right. Oh,
Wait, are we not being loving enough and light? Do we need to get some love and light in here?
Right.
Can we do that? I don't know.
I feel like now I have to confirm.
I can't tell if Bob's being condescending or if he's being genuine. So
I can't. Yeah, it's an enigma right now. I'm trying to figure it out. If anybody comes up with an idea, then please let me know, because this is very strange what is taking place. Yes, and I do. I kind of feel like a stripper right now, because I'm also being abused, and I think that's what happens to a lot of strippers, right? Like they ain't dancing the right way, or a guy throws some money at them and they didn't get the response they wanted, so they throw a little bit more, expecting them to actually pay attention. That's what's going on right now.
People just contributing and asking a question because
If it's the one person that I think, I'm gonna just send a message real quick and find out.
Find out and out his ass. Actually, no, I'm not into doxing. But I mean, if you find out, you know who it is, then we're going to bring it, Bob. Go ahead, Robin. Did you have something to say?
So are people donating on Substack, and then because they've donated, a question comes up on the screen, their question, or are you firing their post on the screen?
So unfortunately, Substack doesn't allow me to post, or it doesn't show their posts on StreamYard yet. So these are coming in from, I believe, what is this, YouTube? Bob's over on YouTube. And then sometimes when Rumble does it, but Rumbles doesn't show up. So mostly, I don't even know what the jewels are. So some of that's kind of thrown me for a loop, because I've never seen the jewels that I know of. But yes, when they give on YouTube, it does show up. I mean, YouTube's Google. Google's connected to like, what? Is that you, Cass? Is there a delay? There's a delay. You might go out and come back in. Okay. Here, I'll help you. And then you just join that link again. Oh, okay. Lee, where are we at in this conversation for you?
Man, I got lost there for a second, but onto the bloodlines. Whenever I'd look into it, I'm more on the American side, and I would find myself about finding in Mormon stuff, and also Masonic and Society of Cincinnati families, if y'all are familiar with that. And a lot of burial mounds and obelisk statues right next to them, you know? So that's just what I'm thinking about.
What's the Cincinnati thing?
It has to do with Revolutionary War families and their descendants into the Civil War, and it's definitely a Masonic thing. Like it's has to do with the obelisk.
Right. I think you'll find that in every big city all over the United States too, especially like Philadelphia and some of these ones that are like strongholds and the like original colonies.
When I say like the American side of things, I believe that we live on top of a monstrous lie, and people were here before Columbus of every race, I think. Right. So as to the DNA, I seriously don't know anything. Like we're on a lie right now.
Well, I actually have a haplogroup for that, if we want to get back to a haplogroup and bore everyone to death. But there is evidence that there's obviously some people know this, but there was lots of different, obviously the history that we've been told is a lie, but there's different groups of people that were here in America before the Native Americans, and different types of ancient humans in America. So there's proof of that too. What did Bob say? I missed it.
He said he doesn't know any of us. I think he loves Cass's voice, and he would like to hear more from her. But he says he's from Scotland and full of love, because you've been nothing but lovely. Anyways, I want a world full of love. Simple. I am a beautiful human being just like you. Well, then we got to define what love is, because some people love to murder people. Some people love to torture people. Some people like to change people's genetics. What do you mean by love? Anyways, welcome back, Cass. Can you hear me?
What did I miss?
You didn't. I mean, we got into some. Lee was getting us back into the Chattahoochee of Cincinnati and some of the bloodline stuff here in the United States. And then Mac has. If you want to share that, we can pull it up. It is interesting to see some of the lines and some of this stuff, and this is something that's a little bit new to me. And I think
one of the haplogroups you showed earlier, it had Robert E. Lee in it, and he was a Society of Cincinnati descendant, and he also went to West Point, which is a military academy, and all those people are Masons. So just connecting some dots.
Right, and you had some experience working with juxtaposition. There's probably some things that I don't agree with, but I'm not as learned as Juxta on some of that stuff. But I do think that he is. I think he's correct in the sense that it's more. This is all an illusion. Like these people are playing together, and they want us divided. Countries divide us.
Yeah.
But they also
Generals from the North and South both went to West Point Academy. That's a focal point. Like if you can tell that it's all just a psyop, man. West Point Academy.
West Point Academy. That's a big one. All right.
Haplogroup X, which I find is interesting because X, all these haplogroups are alphabetical but this one isn't for some reason. So there's probably something to this X, if we want to get into that whole kind of thing. But so it shows this map here. If you want to click on that.
This one right here, the top one?
Yeah. So, and then you see that this is obviously signs of an ancient American to Middle East Europe connection, because these two populations, I get like these two shaded areas, I guess have nothing to do with each other, but they still have this common lineage. So it shows kind of that maybe Atlantean evidence that there were people in the Americas related to people in this area, because supposedly the Native Americans are more of an Asian population or related to the Siberians. So just kind of more evidence of things we weren't told.
Is the haplogroup stuff, is it mostly put together by one person, or is this something that is like a community that works on this research?
I think it's a community. It's probably funded by some, evil group, I'm sure, but
it has some truth in it, and
exactly. There's a narrative there, and there's some truth there. Like they like to mix it in.
Right. And so sometimes we present stuff because we're all searching for truth. So sometimes we present stuff that other people in the chat might know more about, add stuff down in the comments. We continue the conversation. Every show is just a conversation that continues in one direction or the other. We decided to start talking about the bloodlines in this one.
And interestingly enough, Abraham Lincoln had this haplogroup. And so maybe connected to like Nephilim or giants or whatever. Supposedly the giants of America were related to this haplogroup. So it's interesting.
It is interesting.
And he was so tall, Abraham Lincoln, and was said to have some clairvoyancy. And that's interesting to, again, tie back to the bloodlines, because there's so much history in it. So much history in it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Abraham Lincoln was an alien? A tall gray or a tall white, I mean?
I think he was a Neph. He must have been someone Neph hybrid, something.
Right. Some of these like Baron Trump today.
Yeah. Yeah. And they were.
There's a book about Baron Trump that was written, in the early 1900s, maybe the late 1800s. It's like a time traveler's book.
Yeah, there's a few of them, but it's like never been heard about until more recently. So did they plant that shit? It's weird.
I don't know. I remember reading it whenever I was in high school, and I graduated in 05.
Oh shit! You know about that from back then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when everybody's looking at, the big DT, I'm like, no, you're looking at the wrong one.
Interesting, because I thought that stuff maybe came out and was put out there around the time that they had Trump run for president, but now you know about those
Mm-mm,
back in the day. That's
mm-hmm.
freaking nuts because there's a
I
lot of
remember doing a research paper. It was right when the World Trade Center was going down. I remember doing the research paper. That would have been my sophomore year. So,
You did a research paper on it.
not on Barron Trump, actually. The only reason why I found that book was because I've always been one for numbers, and I was following a money trail as to how the World Trade Center was established, and then it randomly, got hit in, well, so it was in '01. It wasn't that far off. So it had to have been the year after that I had done that. Now I'll have to go see if I can't find that research paper. But I
Right.
remember citing the book about Barron Trump in the numerics of my research paper.
Right. So there's 2 or 3 books, and I'm showing on the screen here. It was Ingersoll-Lockwood, and this caused a lot of like controversy on some of the Chan boards and some of the like Reddit and stuff like that, because there are so many parallels that it's crazy. Because I think it says here 1900, the last president. So then, when I was in the Q movement and believing a lot of that stuff, it was said that Trump was going to be the last president because he's going to return the republic to the United States and reestablish constitutional law and all that bullshit that he hasn't done. The Baron Trump time traveler with the dog, Adventures of Little Baron Trump and his wonderful dog Bulger. Baron Trump's marvelous underground journey, talking about the underground stuff. We were learning about underground bases and all that kind of stuff, the tunnels. The last president, written in the 1900s or 1900 itself.
Yeah, early 1900s. Yeah. And he's turning how old in the next couple of years? I think actually when DT was joking around about he was running for another 4 years. No, I think it's his son.
Are you talking about Trump?
Well, I would like not to.
Right.
It does nothing for me, but as
Well, if
far
he
as
gets
like the next 4 to 6 years and going into these bloodlines, like it is significant because I think it's Barron. I don't think it's him. I think Barron's going to push us into that 2030, 2040 agenda. He's got the knowledge. If you watch him, if you watch how he's watching, it's like he already knows.
Yeah, he's a little like on the autism spectrum or something.
And he's also going back to our last little live. He is on the spectrum.
he might have that brain on the chip. He might have that
Right.
They've always been quiet
high
about him.
class augmentation.
Yes, he's got some form of augmentation or something going on. It's genetic anomaly at least.
Is he a designer, baby?
Yes, something like that. The only thing is they'll have to change the laws because I don't think you can run for president until you're 35 years old, and he'll likely need some. He'll have to move up. Do some. You can become other forms of government leading up to it. Why he would want to do that, I don't know, dude. You're fucking set. But if you have to do it because you're in these bloodline families and that is what you're here for, you don't really have a choice. So maybe he does have to do something like that. But that would give us some time unless they change the laws. Because if Barron Trump is the one that's going to be the guy that comes in as president at some point, that gives us some time. He's still a young dude. He's got to be 35 before he can even be president. So
I know. I'm like,
for you guys,
maybe that that does give us some time.
It'll give us a little bit of time to watch the rest of the world embrace augmentation. Oh dear Lord!
To catch up. My goodness. Yeah.
Be lovely.
Yep. Did we share everything that you had, Mac, on that stuff?
Yep, that's it. That was just the kind of the ancient American connection, Haplogroup X, giants, all that great stuff. So,
Mac, I appreciate you and all of your research and all of your sharing.
thank you.
I will
Yeah,
be going back, rewatching this, and I want those links. Yeah, 'cause
absolutely.
I don't know much about all of this, but I appreciate all the information.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are following a little bit. It's kind of hard to follow when you're just learning about it, but
It's
it
a
was
new approach, and I have a couple things that I'll share that I did look into, more surface stuff, just to have a discussion. But I do appreciate it. It's something that I had not ever thought about it. Annie D, does it really matter? I mean, it depends on how you look at things. If you want to understand how they keep control in this world, like some of the bloodline families, that is, and how they're rolling this stuff out, because it'll be attached to a lot of names. But maybe follow the money might be more important, because you'll not ever really know the names of the people that are really in control. So I don't know.
Is the bloodline thing in the DNA, is that going to, I wonder, with the geofence thing?
Yeah.
Even if we're not in those certain countries, because we had a portion of that bloodline, is it still going to give us access to, it's so crazy. I don't know, but it does.
That sounds kind of like it's on the right track, I think.
Yeah, but this is ultimately about genetics, because it's life extension. So I think my personal take on the 23andMe and all that stuff is that they're collecting. They never do anything for one reason. Always keep that in mind. No matter what we're talking about, it's probably all the things that we think is going on, really. So they're collecting our data, I think, to see what genetics is in what area and kind of mapping it out.
And I think they're going to create new haplogroups, new power centers, because they're going to reset, right? Eventually, 2030, 2040. So they got to collect all this data. They got to, create the new puppet masters, basically.
Infrastructure. You got to get infrastructure down. It's a business to them.
Right. And Velveteen knows. And if you don't know about Velveteen, she's been through this shit. She's been abused by a lot of this stuff. They are all about bloodlines. I am the quantum genesis mother, Larissa blockchain. Yes, 23. Yeah, that's how this works. That's how the Masons work. That's how the Mormons work. That's how these religion powers stay in power. They keep it in the blood. They keep the wealth in the blood. And then when it comes to what we've seen with the pandemic and some of the human augmentation, some of the Kalergi plan, if people have looked into that, where they are trying to create a melting pot where they get rid of the original genetics, the powerful, strong European, the Irish, Scottish, the ones that have stood up in history and fought against these powers that be over time. They're, from all I can gather, it seems to be true that they are trying to get rid of those genetics to have a more look at what they've done in China. How, I'm not saying there aren't fighters in China, and God bless them. That's a heck of a situation, but it's comply or die. Comply or end up on a table and have your organs harvested. You get into all kinds of conversations there. The Falun Gong, if you've ever heard of those people, very spiritual practicing people, were very healthy. We're just doing kind of what looks like biofield practices in a way. I mean, I'm sure without the terminology in that, they were doing some amazing stuff. And all of a sudden they started disappearing. They were it was creating this vast movement of millions of people over there. And then all of a sudden they were disappearing, and they were being taken and harvested for their organs because they were healthy, but they were also causing political problems because people were finding a spiritual path towards standing up non-violently to the bullshit that was going on in their countries. Unreal.
I think that's how they get people. They did it to the Gnostics and all those groups. And I think why Sabrina brings up the whole it's not spiritual thing, even though it is in a sense, but it's that's how they get you. They get you in a spiritual group. They get you to sound crazy, and then they take you out. Even if you're doing something that's good, that's how this.
Right. But they're not using the spiritual realm to tap into you. They are using your biology. That's why she says this is not about spirituality. Yeah. The things that they are using, that kind of thing, are your belief systems and all of that, and how you use your own biofield to block, shunt, shield, whatever it may be. Yeah, that's individual. I think that I don't want to speak for her, but it's another reason. But we need to focus more instead of, in my opinion, less on why are they doing this for the spiritual side. It's they're using our biology. So if we got to come to terms with that has nothing to do with your belief system. It has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with You're alive, your heartbeat, you are electrical. It's everything on the planet. That's alive has these fields.
I agree. And it's all interconnected, spirit, body, mind, it's all interconnected. But if you don't start with the biology, then you can't get down to the facts, which means it just goes in circles. So
I mean,
that's
we can't even have conversations with, that's why we have this community. And I'm super happy for the newbies, because what are they saying in your groups? Like, are you even able to have conversations with people anywhere about the fact that this is happening and that eventually it's going to be up to the younger generation to communicate to the other generation about how much they've washed out from information for you guys, the parasympathetic system alone? I think with you, Booma, like because you had massage therapy, you've been in healing practices, it's second nature to people like that, but they've completely erased any type of connection of medical terminology to be able to even have real conversations.
The peripheral nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I asked Lee earlier, and then I've talked to Moses about it. A lot of people their age, younger generation, aren't really paying attention to this stuff. There are so many distractions. I can't imagine having kids at this time, and I can't imagine being as young as you guys are, or younger. This is a tough time for the younger generations, but it is uplifting and brings hope when I see that you guys are here. And I'm glad you guys have joined the conversation. Like Cass says, it's important. We're going to need you guys, and we don't want it to just be a bunch of old people doing this.
Or for it to be overwhelming, it's already a lonely environment to be out there sometimes. I'm
It
sure
really
dating is hard. Listen, what's the dating world like? Is it awful? I don't even know. And then
I
you
just
go
don't
back to
even
what
look.
Booma said
It's
last time
scary.
about
Wait for that for
I just
13
hear a little
years.
bit about the dating world, and these apps, and how people just hook up like it's no big thing. Like, oh, it's Friday night, trying to get on. What is it, the Bumble, or try to get on? Is Tinder still Tinder something like that? It's still a thing.
what, swipe left or right.
That's
Is that what's
definitely
going to
bad.
happen when you pick your kid too? Are you
That could
going to
probably
be with
be an
this person
episode.
that you met on Tinder where you swiped left or right on, and then you guys get married, and then you're like, okay, let's pick out our kid, left, right.
That's not what
button.
people are using dating apps for now. They're not using it to find a partner. They're using it to fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it so happens to work out that way, I guess it happens to work out that way. But I really don't think most people are going into that mindset of using it that way. They might as well just go to the bar like we used to do. Go hook up.
Yeah, but
Now
that
we
costs
do it online.
That costs money. It's not cheap.
Mhm.
I know, paying for dinners and stuff like that. And you never know, right,
Yeah.
Robin?
People
Yeah,
are
but
crazy.
when you hook up with somebody, you meet somebody on a dating app, guess what? You guys got to meet in person. So you end up spending money anyway.
Well,
It's not sensible.
As a taxi driver, I can tell you, they just go. They actually just go.
They just go in there, do their thing, and they're done.
I've taken males and females, and they've started getting twitchy when they're getting near the place, and they're starting to ask me what the place is like. And I said, well, it's a block of flats.
And do they say, hold the cab, it'll only be 5 minutes?
And then they'll start getting even more worried, but not one of them, male or female, didn't get out of the car and didn't walk into that block of flats at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And they'd never met these people before, apart from online.
It's just so lonely. I just like, what is that?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm hearing horror music playing, like from a horror movie playing in my head in the background.
And then the next is coming, the honeypot sex bots.
Right.
Mhm.
It's like
Robin, you'll be delivering those to the flats.
Oh God.
But then, like Cass was saying, they're preparing us because eventually you will. Instead of like caring about your partner or whatever, you'll just hook up with the person that has your genetics that you want, and it'll show you an AI image of the baby that you'll create, and then you'll just be swiping the kind of baby you want, and that'll maybe choose the person that you're going to have sex with.
It's all as a service. It's all going to be on an
No,
app.
you said they
Boyfriend
weren't
as a
going to have
service,
sex
girlfriend as a
anymore. You
service,
said that
baby
they
as a
wanted to
service.
be like unisexual, right? So it's just going to be like a
Well,
medium.
I think they want it to be more like the Demolition Man, where you put the VR headset, because they don't want you to breed anyway. Everything has to be so selective. So you can do all that in the lab. You don't need to have sex anymore to do. There's no reason to procreate. There's no, and we don't want any mistakes happening now, will we? So just
You
go
don't want
ahead
to
and
get
do it
somebody
like this. You
sick.
won't know the difference.
Mm-hmm. And they probably won't know the difference. Look, it takes 2 generations. It takes 2 generations, and look at how dating is now compared to how it was for our grandparents.
Right. Take care,
Dorian,
Bob.
can you read that? Because I can't read that.
Yeah, Bob's just saying, Cass, take care, stay strong, and Moses and Robin and Hey You Girl and Chattahoochee, Lee and Dorian and Mac. Thank you, Bob.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Bob.
But this is I don't think people are ready to give up the, as they say, I don't know if they still say this, smashing of each other, both women and men. You young people are calling it smashing now, or maybe you move beyond that, where you're going to.
That's what they call it.
It sounds so violent.
Yeah.
It sounds
smash
violent.
this chick, and the chick's like, I'm gonna smash this guy.
Listen, if I said I was gonna smash somebody, that meant I was gonna kick their ass.
Right.
Reminds me
I
of
was gonna
Wreck-It
smash you in the
Ralph,
face.
Oh man, it's on.
I was gonna punch you. You better watch out.
They tape their hands and they put on fucking MMA gloves and shit. They're like,
Even had the brass knuckles and.
Robin knows. He watches them putting on their shit, getting their pads on. They're gonna go in there and freaking smash.
You have to sign a waiver, and it just, you're like an NDA.
It's so bad. I mean, like, we're talking about bloodlines now. Okay, so but this is where it's going. So they still want to smash now, right now, and this time. But once these sex bots really get out there and they're so realistic, then it'll start to change slowly, because interpersonal relationships with real humans are too complicated and too expensive. Sex bot is like an electric car. You buy it one time, you don't got to pay for the gas. Is how they sell that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And then it will eventually turn into Demolition Man, where there'll be no contact because it's gross. Or there's pandemics all the time that they'll keep pushing, and no one wants to see each other or be near each other. I mean, they were talking about double condoms during COVID, which is not safe. Condoms rub together and break.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what they were saying. Double mask, double condoms. What?
Yeah, it's so stupid.
And you got to think too, going back to the autism conversation that we had last time. Some people on the spectrum level, they don't like certain textures or the way certain things feel. You know what I mean? And so
they're oversensitive. They're sensory.
They have
to stem, but like they're very sensitive to the touch, their skin.
You know?
They don't like everything is extra loud for them. Everything is just hyper. I don't know what the word is. It's just been like exasperated. It's everything. What we feel is like ×5 to them.
Mm-hmm. So even physical touch or sensation or anything like that, they can't.
It's overload.
So again, going back to the Demolition Man in a couple generations, it's not too far-fetched that would be what we're looking at progressing if there's not more human connection. Because as Booma said, human relations are complicated. They're messy. They're heartbreaking. People aren't going to want to get hurt. They're not going to want to spend all their money. They're not going to want to even leave their environment at some point, I'm sure. I don't know.
Well,
They've made it this way on purpose to make it super fucking complicated. It's almost impossible to survive on your own as a solo person. I mean, I was living on the freaking Oregon coast, and it was like paycheck to paycheck and barely getting by. I had to have assistants at times just to make it by because massage was so inconsistent as far as pay goes during the seasons. So you rely on a 2-person kind of like even apartment or wherever your place is, but then that puts more pressure on the relationship. And then you got these devices that are constantly in people's hands. The girl that I was engaged to get married, I mean, she's always talking to guys, but it was just like to her, she was like 9 years younger than me. So it's a different generation. And like, but to me, it was just like, that's not cool. Like, I don't know what you're like, if we're having a fight for a little while, which is normal in a relationship, you get in a little fight or whatever every once in a while. It's easy to just go to somebody else, get consoled, and then them say whatever they want to hear. The next thing you know, there's another relationship going on, an affair happening. It's so easy to happen where it's just like breaking up families. So it's quite the situation that we find ourselves in this day and age. Because back in the day, it's like you didn't see each other for a long time. You lived towns over. You actually wrote freaking letters. You waited a week to hear from them. It meant more when you saw them because you didn't have instant communication. So now we live
overstimulation.
What's that?
Or overstimulation. You know, when you're saying
overstimulation is today. That's what we live in.
If you're not constantly entertaining your partner, and then they go to the phone, and then somebody else is entertaining them, even though what that person may be providing isn't half of what you are. It's that instant gratification of that overstimulation that's being sufficed. And they didn't have that in our grandparents' generation or my grandparents' generation because, like you said, they were writing letters. They were being intentional. It was genuine. The pace was slower.
Right. Nothing was instant gratification. Now everything, if you don't get it instantly, people get like frustrated and they have no patience. So if you're not giving it something to them, they're going to just move on to the next one. And
then bringing that back to the bloodline
online too, right? You can talk to anybody in the world.
You put it up on an app. You know what I mean? Just
right.
Like said,
and that's normal.
They don't want to have to hurt. They don't want to have to waste their time.
Well, you get emotionally attached to, I mean, let's say you have a relationship with even an AI, something like these people get married to have relationships online with an AI, not a real person. What happens when you get emotionally attached to that person or that robot and then you don't have that anymore? You're going to go through the heartache. You're going to feel the loss. People already feel a loss when they can't find their damn phone. Can't be without it for 5 minutes. They get, it's still a loss.
Oh my gosh, I left my phone.
You're not saving yourself. That's the thing. It's a lie.
I left my phone here, in Missouri, going to Ohio, and then traveled the states and came out. So I was gone without it for like 3 weeks. It was the most freeing thing. And I couldn't believe that it's probably been since I was 8 that I didn't have a cell phone attached to me. Or 10. And the younger generation, they don't even know what that's like. They don't know what it's like to just completely disconnect like that.
Right? Yeah, Lee and Moses have no idea what that's like.
I know. Yeah.
You have no idea what it's even like for even me, and I don't even go back that far, but I had a landline phone where like you had a super long fucking cord and you extended that thing as far as you could go. And you sat on that phone for hours with a girl.
Yeah.
And sometimes you didn't talk to him for days.
Right.
Sometimes that was great.
Or you would you couldn't get home in time. You'd miss that call and you didn't know when you were going to talk to him again.
Yep. Oh, no one told me you called. Sorry.
Yeah, that too. You wouldn't get your freaking messages.
Oh my God.
Those
all
were the
right. All right. We want to get back to the bloodlines. I can just see it in his face. Just playing, bro. But anyways, I did a little research, just surface stuff. I wanted to know what I would get if I just asked, what are the most reliable lineages records? According to this will be like mainstream more so, I think, the scientific community or whatever you'd want to call it. But apparently Iceland reconstructs the genealogy of essentially the entire Icelandic population, near complete coverage to the 1700s. Traceable lines running through roughly 1,100 years to settlement. Cross-checked against church records, validated against DNA by a D code. I don't know what the heck that is. Genetics. Is that like a company? Small isolated population, strong record-keeping culture, no invasions, destroying archives. which is some of the stuff that we have as part of the problem that I proposed when I was talking, when I was putting this together and trying to figure some of this out, because I was like, I don't really trust what I'm going to get back from this. But I brought up the fact that a lot of history has been destroyed. The Library of Alexandria, the tyranny that's happened when other dynasties take over and burn and destroy the histories of certain peoples. Those who win the wars write the history books. And so anyways, I'll just go through these real quick. But the next one in line, according to this, is the most reliable lineage records. Swedish households examination rolls, Chinese clan genealogies, the Kong lineage, descendants of Confucius, is the longest continuously documented family line in the world. European parish registers, England from 1538 under Thomas Cromwell, Catholic Europe from the Council of Trent in 1563, baptism, marriage, and burial entries cross-reference one another, reliable for roughly 500 years, patchy before and destroyed in places by war and fire. Japanese Koseki household registry from 1872 with earlier temple registries or registers from the 1600s. The problem no one gets around. Richard III is the best illustration available when his remains were identified in 2012 as mtDNA matched 2 living female descendants across 17 generations. A striking confirmation of a paper trail, but the Y chromosome did not match the male line Somerset descendants it should have. Somewhere in that documented aristocratic pedigree, at least one child was not fathered by the man in the record.
Real quick, supposedly that happened with Elon Musk. Apparently, Elon Musk has an East Asian lineage, which I find interesting.
East Asian, even though he allegedly comes from Africa.
Yeah.
Interesting. Probably good on that.
His eyes look like Asian eyes.
Yeah, and if you look at
his face, is sort of more rounded than you would.
Yeah, it really hit me when I saw it, and I'm like, oh yeah. And then you compare it to Chinese person, for example, you kind of see it.
That is true. I agree, Robin. And Mac, the math undercuts most bloodline claims. Rode, Olson, and Chang published in Nature 2004, modeling human ancestry with realistic migration. The most recent common ancestor of everyone alive today likely lived only a few thousand years ago. Further back lies the identical ancestors point, beyond which everyone then living who left descendants at all is an ancestor of everyone alive now. Charlemagne is therefore an ancestor of essentially every person of European descent, not a distinction, arithmetic. Mathematically, Charlemagne is therefore an ancestor of essentially every European descendant. Meanwhile, after roughly 10 generations, most genealogical ancestors contribute 0 DNA to a given descendant. A person has far more ancestors than segments of genome. And this is where we've talked about the clergy plan, the melting pot, the spreading of the traditional genetics from certain regions as transportation and more people were able to intermingle, if you will. I mean, back in the day, not long ago, when I say back in the day, it wasn't that long ago, where a woman might marry a man in her little town, never leave that town, husband dies, and she marries the brother. And it was normal because that was the only people they knew. I grew up in a small town, even where I grew up, and it was like met a lot of people that had been in relationships that just grew up in that area, married, and never left. That's how it was, and it still is in some places, but how it was often. And then I wanted to talk about the Bible believers versus the scientific community. I don't know if I'll get into this. This gets into a little bit of what Mac was talking about when they were talking about like the Y chromosomal Adam and a mitochondrial Eve. I have this here on the screen for those that are watching. I'm just going to kind of scroll through this. It makes some interesting claims, and since we don't have like Crystal here, JK, I'll bring you on eventually. We'll probably have another bloodline one where we focus on maybe some of these things. I thought this was interesting though, and if you're still here and in the chat, it says that Matthew and Luke give different Davidic descents for Jesus and diverge after David. Traditional harmonizations exist. Luke is Mary's line. Levirate, marriage, and may be correct, but they are harmonizations rather than what the texts say on their face. So there is like some claims in this that there are different accounts of the Davidic descendants for Jesus. I thought was kind of like, wow, okay. Obviously, this would be worldly information. But then just real quick, what I brought up earlier in this show, when I asked about the world's richest families, I think this is all bullshit because like it says, I think somewhere in here, it talks about how they won't rank. Yes. What the ranking does and does not measure, because you'll get like the traditional, like the Waltons are the most wealthy family at 513.4 billion. They are the founders of Walmart. But yet Elon Musk has more money than them. Yeah, right. What the ranking does and does not measure, scale. The top 25 families hold a combined 2.9 trillion, blah, 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 blah. Exclusion by design. Bloomberg excludes first generation fortunes and fortunes controlled by a single heir. And then it talks about the Catholic Church, property, art, and financial assets in nearly every country on earth. No consolidated balance sheet exists because they don't want people to know what they all own. And so like you'll get into this stuff where it's like they won't that's their excuses for not telling the world who the wealthiest families are, because they can't possibly. What's up, Mark? Bring you in the conversation. Welcome, bro. But they can't possibly measure the assets of all of these families, so therefore they don't land on the list. So those are the families that run the world. Oh, appreciate it. But welcome, Mark. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. Sorry I'm late again. Last Sunday was helping an elderly gentleman fortify some structures. Today was helping make sure a lady who's in a toxic situation get out of that toxic situation and have a place to live. So we accomplished our goal today.
Yay, Mark. Good job.
Good on you, bro. Good on you, man. That's being a real
Valid for being late.
Yes, exactly. Justified.
Though I'm actually curious, I wonder if you know any of these links. You're so good at sharing. Mac is so good at sharing. I'm so bad about this. It's like I randomly know things, but I don't have the resources to validate it sometimes. So
right, it doesn't matter the subject, right? Hawktar, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Yes, I got it. Fuck yeah. But Mark drops a lot of truth while lives are going on. If he's not on the panel himself, now he is. Second time, welcome back, and drops some knowledge nonstop. And you got a lot, I'm sure, to share on this. So I just went through some of the more like surface stuff and some of the stuff that you'll get when you try to ask something like AI or Google or whatever who the wealthiest families and stuff are. You get a bunch of like horse shit for the most part. You learn about the families they want you to know about and focus on. But you ain't gonna learn about the real people that are that you'll never know their faces or their real names. Or if you have any idea of their actual lineage names, they probably changed their names, or you'll never know who they are, and they'll never be talked about. And that's because they control everything. But anyways, on this topic, since you just showed up, Mark, you have anything that you'd like to share right off the bat when it comes to bloodlines?
I don't really track the families all that much. I more track the reasons behind like why things are set up quite the way they are. The one thing I can say about the actual blood, like the genetics, is it seems like these specific families, they have certain traits, not just personality traits, but energetic traits. I guess that relates to personality, but they have certain traits that they're trying to maintain. And I mean, if you're wanting to control something this large, I mean, they're controlling like 8 billion people, all these different industries and everything else. You have to be assured that anybody that you bring into the fold, so to speak, is going to be enough like you that you don't really have to worry about, your system crashing. So, the bloodline has to do a lot with, to me, it's personality traits. In some cases, it appears to mainly also be about abilities. potential abilities. In terms of the names, even though I don't track, because like you said, you're never really going to know who the real people are. So even the names that we get, like Rothschilds, the Morgans, you know, stuff like that. One thing that I have a theory on is the people that do all of this really super nasty, vile stuff, they have personality traits where they do want to be known in some way. And the theory that I have is probably, say, the last names that are used in all of the most popular TV shows and films. Those would be the names that I would be after. Those would be the names that I would do the research on. So one name that I've seen over and over, I think you were talking to Cass about potentially being a Twilight fan last Sunday.
Yeah, Cass is big into Twilight, loves vampires and shit.
So I've noticed. Yeah, I've noticed that in many shows and movies, the last name Cullen continues to come up over and over and over and over. So instead of, you know, I just haven't got that far yet. I'm more about the self-sustainability and making sure everybody has enough, because that is the keystone to kind of fixing all of this. So I've been trying to focus on that. But yeah, if I ever get the time, the last name Cullen will be the first one that I chase down. And I'm just going to, you know, again, just use the media, something they try to use against us. I try to use that against them. So there's all these different things that they just like to put in people's faces. So I try to pick it up and figure out what I can use it for.
So hidden in plain sight. When you say Cullen, are you saying Cullen?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense that they would put it out there. Eeks Al, how you doing, brother? Cullen, Cole the Herd. Interesting. And April also, Cole the Herd. Damn. You guys are on it.
There's a guy on Twitter called Cullen. I am Cullen.
Little feedback. What do we got? Mark, I'm
Was
going to
that
have to
me feedback?
Go ahead, Robin. Sorry about that.
There's a guy on Twitter called I am Cullen or something, and he was on about during COVID and then parking all the planes up for some strange asteroid reason. We were going to be bombarded with asteroids as meteors or something like that. That's why they had to stop all the planes in the sky from flying, you know. Have you not heard of that guy? He's on YouTube. I am Cullen or something like that.
Interesting.
And the Cohens are related, if I can interject for a second, to a certain haplogroup too. It's Haplogroup J1. I put it in the in our chat, and that's related to a lot of Saudi royalty, a lot of Jewish royalty. That's kind of so maybe more like religious power or oil money, but that's very common with the Saudi princes.
Oh, this is Cohen. So this is, I think is it Cohen or Cohen? But here, either way, is the Cohen. Here's a Cohen modal haplotype. But I think what we were talking about is Cullen, Cullen.
Cullen, okay.
Might look that one up. But Cohen is a big one because Roy Cohen, the guy that taught Donald Trump everything about how to be a scumbag.
Exactly. That's a bunch of gobbledygook, but similar names too.
Going back to the bloodlines and the surnames, like I went down, like I want to know how far back I can trace my own genealogy. I don't know if any of you guys are interested in your, you know, your own. For me, I just want to know, what have they done with my ancestry bloodline? So I'm Native American, Hispanic, German, French, and Swedish. So when you go back to saying that all European bloodlines come from this descent, that's relative to me. But then how did we conjoin? How did I get blended, per se? And then what does that look for my children? Because those bloodlines, in my opinion, get more and more diluted, just like seeds in a fruit, right? throughout generations. So what are they trying to remove? What are they trying to precise? If I could figure out where I've come from, maybe I can help my future generations keep intact.
Yeah, I've been
They
thinking
want to
about
hold
that
on to be true.
with the coming biodigital convergence, and like knowing how your DNA and how specifically you can survive this because you could survived it in the past, and how you could help your children, and what you got going for yourself. I think that's kind of where I was going with it, is like Booma was talking about, the Scots and the Irish and Native Americans, all the people that kind of fought against tyranny. There's that remnant DNA in us all here. So trying to figure out how to keep that intact, because they're polluting and destroying everything, to be honest. So
And do you find it, and this may be far-fetched, but I don't know how you guys stand in your family bloodlines, but I'm a first generation for both of my bloodlines, but I am not male. And so I wonder, does it differentiate at all with that, as far as randomness that happens in your life or what you come up against? Because I find with first children in the bloodlines seem to have amazing stories, like just amazing trials throughout their lives, have to overcome quite some obstacles, and seem as if they carry most of the physical traits of parents than any of the other siblings as they go down. Does that, I don't know if I said that.
I think that tracks a little bit. I definitely think that tracks. And you're talking about just the firstborn kind of has the most going on there.
You know how they say, the firstborn son of the family carries on the male name, the most male genetics to carry on their bloodlines. I wonder how true to fact that is, even going forward now, or if there isn't even any truth to it, linking in the bloodlines and then going into this bioconvergence, because yeah, we can figure out what it is that they're really wanting or why. I don't know. Not that that really even matters, but anything will help, to
Yeah.
keep.
So,
Awesome.
how would you trace back your lineage? Because we know we can't trust these, DNA, little kid where you do a little mouth swab and then send it in or whatever, because like they're bullshit, right? So how would you accurately trace back, your lineage?
For me, because I have so much nationalities, the one I'm tracing right now is my Spaniard, and my cousin had our family Bible, and then with that, a handwritten letter as to what happened in our family history as to how we came into the States, and the stance in which I think it was like my great grandfather, not my great, but like 6th or 7th generation removed, had fought against that. So I go off of Ancestry, but then like as far as storytelling, and then I try to look for the death certificates, the birth certificates, and land sale, which we didn't have a whole lot then. And then I did use Ancestry back in when COVID all hit. And what's so crazy is that when I think back on it, the person who bought it for me and was pushing me to use it was not a good person in my life. Like, now I'm trackable because of X, Y, and Z. But like Crystal was saying earlier, I mean, it's hard to get away from it. Everybody's on there now. I mean, and it has been for decades. So.
Okay.
Oh, and I was corrected earlier. It wasn't Cohen, it's Cohn. It's Roy Cohn is the one that taught Trump, Cohn. Credit where credit's due. It was Region 9 till I die. earlier. And Bob is still here saying wonderful things and just spreading that love and light. Thank you, Bob. Fucking asshole. Anyways, Mark, I had to mute you just because there was some feedback. So if you want to talk, you can go ahead and just unmute yourself at any point when you want to say something. There was some feedback.
Yeah, so the one thing I was going to add to the conversation earlier about firstborns is it does, excuse me, it does seem very, very interesting how many individuals in the public eye who seem to have a bit of control, authority, influence, whatever, how many of them either have lost a firstborn somehow or their firstborn is now a trans. So, you know, in that sense, they are effectively dead. You know, especially like the males, because now they can no longer sire offspring. So I don't know if it's, you know, a lot of people say it's a sort of a sacrifice, and whether or not they actually are losing their lives or just, you know, losing their gender, however you want to say that, it is effectively sort of the same way. And I have seen that there are other people putting 2 and 2 together there, and it, you know, there are people on YouTube where you can find videos where they've put together all of the celebrities and people in the public eye who have children who have either, you know, they've lost their firstborn or they are trans. And, you know, if somebody looked at the statistics on that, I would imagine it would be very, very high.
Yeah, it's definitely a fucking trend. I don't know what they're doing with that, but I could probably look it up right now, how many of that. And there's probably a list because it's so prevalent. It's like it's either a ritual, they're forced to do it, it's part of their sacrifice for the club, whatever the heck they're doing, man. It is it's obvious though. And it's also feeding the transgender, which leads to transhumanism agenda. Which is kind of how I look at it. Because a lot of them you'll find they even they'll adopt babies from like freaking all over the world and then bring them in and then they'll change their gender on them. It's sad and disgusting what they're doing. Sorry, Mark, I just had to mute you there because you were typing up a storm too. We lost Robin. He's got to go make a drop off. Somebody got on Bumble. Oh man. Where are you at, Lee? Where are you at, Moses? Chime in.
In the beginning, Heather touched on you know, all the presidents being related or whatnot. I had a question for Mike because I mean he's very knowledgeable about you know, all those links that you that Booma went through. They were very helpful. But I wanted to ask you this. So I've also heard that all the presidents are related, right? But one thing that I've heard, and I wanted to see if anybody here has heard it before, all right? So Obama apparently, like, they took DNA from a certain pharaoh and basically, like, quote unquote, made him or cloned him, and then they were able to like take his DNA and then trace it back to that one pharaoh. So is that something that anybody here has heard? Or
Yep.
Okay,
Absolutely, Moses. That tracks because I'll get into geek talk on the haplogroups, but Obama has a haplogroup E1B 1A, which is what the pharaohs were.
okay.
So if they wanted to create that clone, create that kind of phenotype, they would do that more easily because of his male side. So they'd be able to kind of, you know, do that easier because he's related to that line.
Yeah.
Basically, like East African line is what he has. So
Yeah.
Yep, that's spot on.
Nice.
I saw a lot of that too, even with Michael LaVaughn Robinson's bloodline allegedly.
Michael
Like an Egyptian line of some sort. I didn't know if it was a psyop or what it was, but there seemed to be some intense write-up about it, and I think that they do that shit on purpose. I think there's a lot of power in the wives, and I think a lot of the wives are actually men, and I think that's why they have the power, because they're the androgynous, they're the transgender, they're the magic show that is tricking the world to believe that they're the opposite sex of what they are. So they hold more power than a person that is, even if Obama's gay. He's still the man that's in the public. It's crazy. But I think that if they have all this genetic storage, like we showed earlier, the banks and all that kind of stuff, have they not held on to genetics from back long ago, right? That they infuse into some of these rituals and then bring them back into the public eye. It would make sense.
Sabrina talks a lot about going to tie her working a little bit, going back to the city of Ur. So like I think that is not Babylonians, but the like the first civilization. Forget the name right now. But I think they want those genes, like in when we went into Iraq, they uncovered these ancient tombs and tried to get the DNA of these ancient Middle Eastern groups. So I think there's something to that. They want those genes. They want to go back to that, whatever that was. She talks about that a lot.
Yeah, well, the Egyptian times were a very specific time where they were like, I mean, there was idols everywhere, but then you would argue that some of maybe the fallen angels were the actual people that were in charge, people, beings, whatever the heck they were. They had all these like, they had the Sphinx heads, but they had like, what is the abyssus or whatever, the bird heads. They had the monkey heads. They had the human bodies with different animal heads and stuff like that. They had all kinds of crazy stuff, but maybe that was the fallen angels. Who freaking knows? But you were just sharing, Mac. You said that you got some links here. A 12-year-old found out that Obama and all the presidents are related. Is that what this is?
Those were links I actually shared.
Mark, sorry.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Okay, let me open this up. So Mark shared these, and let's watch this.
On the School Watch tonight, the story of a 7th grader from Salinas who claims to have made a major discovery about President Obama. She and her grandfather say that President Obama is related to all but one U.S. president. We get more tonight from Action News reporter Felix Cortez, who's live in our Salinas newsroom.
Well, Dan, the youngster spent the summer, really all summer, tracing the family tree of our presidents. Her conclusion that all the presidents, with the exception of one, share the same grandfather.
Well, first we start off with George Washington at the top, and then it goes to John Adams, Thomas Jefferson.
11-year-old Bridget Dovigneau says she's made a first-of-its-kind discovery that President Obama and all the presidents before him, with the exception of one, are related and descendants of a former king of England.
No, they're all cousins, and they're grandsons of John Lackland.
Dovigneau says she spent countless hours on the internet over the summer researching the lineage of our presidents, a project that started with her trying to trace her own family tree.
But I'm the first historian to do all the presidents. I'm very glad I got this done, and I think it will turn out to be a success.
The Monte Vista Christian 7th grader has written President Obama to tell him the presidents before him are his cousins. She hopes to present this family tree chart personally to the president. But Bridget has her skeptics, including this reporter. Her biggest supporter and firm believer that Obama is a descendant of a former king of England is no doubt her mother.
If you have a child and they 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 have a child,
Like names change.
all she's saying is this guy is the great, 25th, 27th, depending on what line it is. He created all this family. So do I believe it? Yes. It's hard, but it's true.
Well, Mom said it. Hard to believe, but
yeah, I mean, it's mainstream news, but it'd be one way for them to put the truth right out in the public, right? Because you just say, oh, she's a 12-year-old girl. She's just, whatever. No one would take it too seriously. But that is freaking her.
Strange.
What was that?
That was definitely strange.
Right?
Yeah.
And the fact that she used Obama to trace it. Did I say Michelle LaVaughn Robinson earlier? Zodiac, you were calling me out for saying I mean, Michael LaVaughn Robinson. Oh, man. And then you got okay, so we got another one, but I think it's the same thing, right? Where the 12-year-old breaks it down. And then what was the other link, Mark? We got, okay, this goes back. So this is the haplogroup thing.
That's just the ChatGPT, the pharaohs in Obama.
Right. Pharaoh Ramesses III, a genetic study published in 2012, extracted DNA from the mummy. Oh my God! And determined that he belonged to the Y DNA haplogroup. President Barack Obama, genealogical and DNA studies investigating certain colonial American family branches connected to Obama's maternal and paternal lines, such as specific Malungian-associated ancestral lines through the Bunch family. Identified markers belonging to the E1B1A haplogroup, a lineage prevalent in sub-Saharan Africa. That makes sense, right? He's from Africa.
Yeah.
Kenya.
So Obama has like, you know, an Egyptian kind of lineage going on, and then the American presidents. So I'm sure there's something to that too.
Wow, man. I love that you're bringing this to the conversation. And then Mark always got stuff to hear. Clone High, what is this?
Yeah, the King Charles one should kind of go first, just because of the videos that were shared earlier. And it's actually a part of an interview where King Charles III is admitting that his bloodline, he's descended from Vlad the Impaler.
I think I've heard about this. All right, let's check this out.
It's Prince Charles, who can trace his ancestry back to Romania's dark and distant past.
The genealogy shows that I'm descended from Vlad the Impaler, you see. So I do have a bit of a stake in the country.
As it were.
What a sick joke. What a sick fucking joke. So I do have a bit of a stake in the country because I'm a descendant of Vlad the Impaler.
Didn't his dad say, that guy's dad said he wanted to come back as a virus and kill humanity? Was that him? That was that guy, right? Yeah. They're great. They really, yeah.
It's like, did they do that because they're really just sick and like disconnected from like really like having any idea what it's like to be a part of the human race? Because they're not. They're like, aren't they like cone-headed fucking different skulls and all that shit? I don't know. They've been inbreeding for so long they're fucking retarded, or they're being outrageous just because they want people to hate them so that no one ever goes and questions and looks for the people that are really behind the scenes. Who fucking knows? But they're insane. So here's the Clone High if you'd like to take this one away, Mark.
Sure. It's always good to look in mainstream movies, TV shows, whatever, just to see what's being fed to people. And this is an example. I think it was you, Booma, that actually kind of mentioned the idea that some of these people throughout history are being recycled. And this show here from 2002, which I just found out looking it up, has now had a remake for as of 2023, I think it said. What? And that's exactly what the show is about. It's about taking the DNA from people throughout history, cloning them, and in this particular show, they're all kind of at the stage in their development where they're all teenagers and they're all going to the same high school, and you get to see the interactions between, like, you know, JFK and Abraham Lincoln, or JFK and Cleopatra. You've got Joan of Arc there, Gandhi. Those are the only characters that I see that are from history on the box there. And then the guy that's laying across the floor, he's the scientist that's responsible for all of it in the show.
Wow. And cartoons are some of the most effective ways to spread truth because they're a fucking cartoon and no one takes it all serious. It's just entertainment purely, right? It says a group of high school teens are the products of government employee secret experiment. They are the genetic clones of famous historical figures who have been dug up, recreated anew. Joan of Arc, Cleopatra, JFK, Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, and more, juxtaposed as teenagers dealing with teen issues in the 20th century. And so that started in 2002, but you're saying that they've got a reboot to be made again, or they did in 2023?
Yeah.
Wow. So they just keep putting it out there. That's insane. I mean, it makes sense because what we were talking about earlier too with designer babies and stem cells. Cass was talking about that and how they were asking her if she wanted to keep her stem cells or whatever, and then Lee bringing up how he knew about somebody that was created from stem cells. Correctly? I'm not sure
Well,
exactly.
it was their baby brother. It wasn't them.
But so you knew the person whose baby brother.
Yeah, it was their dad who did it with the facility, whatever company they did it through.
Was he rich?
Yeah, pretty rich. Yeah,
right.
I don't want to say the company that he worked for, but it's a bank.
So the man took this man took his son's DNA from the umbilical cord and had a baby created in a lab?
No, like his and his partner.
So took that DNA, made it into a baby, and then impregnated the mother, so it came like had a natural birth.
I'm not
We're
sure
talking
if it was
test
a
tube
surrogate
babies.
situation or not, but
Well, I mean,
We're
I'm
talking
trying
the
to
test tube
figure out
baby.
the only way, like, unless they had the sperm, can they take, I mean, who knows the technology? Maybe they can take that DNA sequence and get somebody pregnant with it, right? Without any other.
Yeah.
People who have trouble getting pregnant, they take the sperm from the male, take the egg from the female, fertilize it outside of the body, then reimplant it into the female.
Right.
There's
So
definitely more
if you
scientific
just
name
have
for it.
stem cells, you can't just take stem cells, inject it up into, or put it in mix it with an egg, and then it becomes another human, and then put it just like. That's why I'm saying, how would you do that unless the baby wasn't
Isn't that
allowed?
what IVF treatment is?
Yeah,
That's
there's
IVF,
different.
basically. It's one part of it anyway.
Right. There's different ways that they can do it, but that is one where they take the sperm and the egg of two people, put it in a petri dish, basically make it happen, and then once it, starts becoming so the cell splitting everything, and then you impregnate the woman with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, statistically, and I don't know, maybe the boys can tell me. Maybe they don't know, but I know generations younger than us, the IVF treatment is more and more of a thing. So the reproduction thing is more and more of a problem. Like they're having to go, and on average now it takes a young couple to have a child, if they can't do it naturally within their first 2 years, almost $30,000 to impregnate themselves.
That's the IVF treatment.
Yeah, it definitely costs a lot.
Costs a lot. And that's a cheap amount, actually.
Right. And there's no guarantee.
I've known
They could
people
do it
who
several
have-
times before it even works.
I've known people who've spent house mortgages on
Hundreds of
trying to
thousands.
have a child. Yeah.
Bob, you're the
For
weirdest
test, and at
fucking
the end of the
troll.
day, test tube.
I really don't understand Bob.
Bob's
Can't
drunk,
figure it out.
or he is just a fucking lunatic, or I don't know, man. You got
But he
problems.
keeps flipping back before being nice and then being kind of gross.
I know, fucking bipolar, fucking psychopath. Probably
Is he
just
still giving you money?
Hey, that's what I'm saying, man. You want to keep throwing money at me like a fucking retard?
It's
I'm
great,
all
but
about
keep it freaking cool, man. Stop with the sexual bullshit that you're doing.
Don't keep
I'm not
saying shit
having
about
that.
any of the women, or else you're gonna fucking get kicked out. I don't give a shit.
And
But
since you wanted to hear from me, that's what I have to say.
this because it's saying it is removed, so you can remove the nucleus of the egg. I think is what he said earlier. Let me get it from the beginning. Biscuits is saying the nucleus of the egg can be removed. That is how cloning is done using an egg that not the clone DNA. If the nucleus of the egg was there, it would contribute to the DNA of the embryo. It is removed first from the donor egg, then the stem cell / DNA monster seed is installed in the egg, which itself is then installed in a womb, maybe an artificial one. I don't know. I think that's where they're going.
Right, could go either way. I mean, from that point, you got the technology, you could do it either way. If I don't know.
Yeah,
I just see them at some point if they allow it. Sorry.
I just said explaining that would be above my pay grade, but I just knew it was some type of new technology for them.
Old
It's not really that new
years
because,
ago.
like, how old?
It's new to
now
us.
is that?
Oh, yeah, I'm
yeah.
sure it isn't.
It's newer to us.
Well,
It's not like they disclosed everything they've been doing for the last 100 years.
The connection I'm making to this, and I might be off on this though, is just how the Nephilim and how the people were mixed back in the Bible. So maybe this is the same technology they were using.
Can I recommend a book?
Sure.
That's The Nephilim Look Like Clowns by Paul Stobbs. And it talks about all those foundational stories from the Bible and the extracurricular texts like the Enoch and all that, different flood stories too. And it brings it all together with stuff like the Shriners Circus and how they venerate clowns and the red nose and the red hair. Yeah, that's a good book. Very informative.
I got to read that. I've heard of that.
So here's Homo capensis is an obsolete name for the Boskop man fossils, which scientists now recognize as anatomically modern humans rather than a distinct species. Right. But a lot of these Rothschilds and whatnot have these like cone-like or different shaped heads. And then it goes back to the Egyptian times.
I think they relate this, if anyone is familiar in New Age language, this is like the star seed phenotype right here. Star child right there.
Star child right there, yeah.
So just some more, looks to be more human augmentation going on.
Right. Maybe
Is
Nephilim.
that human augmentation, or are we the human augmentation? And that was like more because they were using their, I don't know, special powers or whatever, right? Mom?
Yeah, it could be both. It could be any of the above. Yeah, it could just be, who knows?
Yep. And I'm sorry to inform everybody, but Bob is no longer. And I hope that I don't even receive any of the money that he donated because he's a fucking cunt.
Nice.
And then another guy came in and was talking shit. So it's like almost like coordinated or something weird. I don't know. But I get rid of him pretty quick. I want to share also just following up on what Mark was showing. There's the 2023. This one looks like it is just in Spanish. Did they reboot it for the Spanish to put it also into their culture? 20 years after they were frozen, Abe, Cleo, JFK, and Joan of Arc probably. Joanne suddenly find themselves thrust from the modern world. I guess it's Joanne, where they must navigate a fresh batch of historical clones, dramatic love triangles, and a formidable new foe. So these are some of the same people that probably just speak English, and they're also just putting it into the Spanish language.
Mm-hmm.
There's that. And then I want to get to this that Mark showed. We've talked about this before. You hear a lot about clone. This I've never heard of this one. However you say that, Mark, go ahead. How do you say it? Viagen?
I would imagine, because I just found it myself, I would imagine it's Viagen.
So watch this. The life cycle of a dog goes through their life cycle, adulthood, maturity, senior years, and then boom. At Viagen, we offer and trusted dog cloning service in the world. There it is. Clone dogs are genetically identical to the original. There is no gene editing or modification involved. This is nature. Faithfully replicated through world-leading science. Clone dogs live full, healthy, and happy lives with no greater risk of health problems than any other dog. Wow. I'd never heard of that. Wow. And that's quite the website. Like, quite the website. I've heard a lot of celebrities more openly, I guess, talk about the cloning of their pets, their favorite pets. $50,000. I think the Osbournes said they cloned one of their dogs, and it was just like they were just talking about getting a new purse.
So two questions. Are they killing your current dog, then making a new one, or are they just taking, I guess, the DNA sample from your living dog and then just creating another one where you now have two dogs, you know? Like what's the...
I think it's for like after it dies.
Oh, okay.
But that's like so
Does
messed
the
up.
DNA still work once? I mean, yeah, I guess so.
And that dog's going to be full of tech when it comes back, when you get it.
Well, I mean, I'm not a dog owner or a cat owner. Boom, I'll ask you this, right? Because I know you have a bunch of cats. If your cat was like, sick or something, you know, and then you had the means to do this service, would you do it, or would you just be like, you know what, it's the way of life, whatever, my cat can just die?
No, bro, I watched Pet Sematary. And you're too young to maybe know about that movie. There's multiples of them, I think. I don't know how many they made. But if you don't know about or haven't watched it, watch that shit. It doesn't have anything to do with cloning, but that's what I think happens. When these clones come back, they're demon dogs or demon cats.
I've seen, I think, like the most recent. I know what you're talking about, too.
Yeah, these fucking animals come back to life and they fucking haunt you and they fucking will kill you. They do take the genetics from your pet, whatever it is, dog, I guess, in this case, what they're marketing, but they take the genetics from your favorite pet that you want to clone. I don't know at what age, though. I haven't been able to find that yet. At what age? Because I would think that you would want the genetics pretty early on. Maybe not right away, but at some, like in their peak, right? Does it matter? Can you get like old dog genetics and you're not going to get like...
yeah, it doesn't make any difference.
It doesn't? Same genetics?
No, because you're recreating what once was.
Yeah.
I did it with chickens. I lime bred chickens, and I got to the 9th, I think it was the 9th generation. They were bantams, but same thing. Got to the 9th generation, and I had to put an outcross in, but all the ones in between, you had actually bred from two to begin with. And even at the 6th generation, I was looking for a new cockerel out of the line, the whole line. So I bred 3 from the 3 females that I had. And I was wanting to get rid of a nasty trait or nasty traits in the male, hopefully. So I ended up with 3 cockerels that I was going to breed back in. And the first 2 failed because the females just beat the shit out of them. And I mean beat the shit out of them. And the one I did...
You made him a pussy, bro.
The 3rd one, the one I didn't like, the one that had the same trait that its dad had down the line, that used to actually bite you. It'd grab hold of you and cling on for dear life. I ended up putting that one in, and it battered all 3 of them. chased them back into the coop, and laid down like its previous generations did in the front of the doorway with them behind it. And that was it.
But you've been holding out on us. This is the best.
That was the new man. And I went back at night because he battered them and chased them back into the coop. And it was there in the doorway, guarding the door. And that's what all the others, the dads used to do. They did the same.
So you did it.
It just did it. And it was exactly the same as the ones that I didn't want from beforehand.
But that was selective breeding. Like you weren't a scientist taking like stem cells out of these things and doing it in a lab.
No, I was following a program that actually meant you kept what you started with, basically. And they were the same. But they weren't just the same in colour and, well, what I started with, I ended up with. But
what you wanted, the traits you wanted.
No, I didn't want that trait. I wanted the nice ones that the females battered. I wanted them to make it good. I wanted one of them to make it good and not have a nasty one. But the females.
You must have made an extra sexy chicken that the ladies were like, yeah, we like this one.
Well, they had no choice. They had no choice with the third one.
They were just like, this guy's freaking. This is
Oh, he just went straight in there and pasted them all. Whereas
Yeah.
they all battered.
We're almost out of our
the-
prime. We'll settle with this one.
I feel like you just described our whole society and our future in this story about your chickens, Robin. My mind is blown. Anybody else? He's like, and I still ended up with the exact same one, with the exact same trait. What's this program?
They
What's
just kept
this
bringing back the
program?
same thing, and the women just finally got exhausted. That was excellent job, though, on your part. Well done, sir. That's how you play it. You just exhaust the women, and they just accept it. They just finally like, fuck it, this is the best I'm gonna never get.
That sounds about right.
Atta boy, but he stood in the fucking doorway like you wanted, I guess. I don't know. That's interesting fucking story we got going on here. Anyways, this is the Nephilim Look Like Clowns, Volume 1, the history. Mark, I believe you shared this, correct?
Actually, it was one of the other panelists that mentioned the book, and I was just making sure that everybody could have access to it if they wanted.
Yeah, I bought it off Amazon, but I read the whole thing. It's great.
So you read the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
What? I mean, I can see the description here, and everybody can read it that actually is on there. But what was your takeaway from this that you think is important?
Well, more relevant to what we're talking about is more the biblical stuff. But what I bought it for was the modern day stuff, like the Shriner Circus and their veneration for clowns. Because I've been to one of those here in Georgia and seen the clowns for myself. Not to throw the conversation off, but that's real.
Right. So this is a fairly recent book, 2024.
Yeah, and this also goes into like giant bones and stuff. We were talking about that earlier. So yeah, I'd recommend this one.
Does Paul Stobbs, does he do like interviews and stuff?
He is on YouTube, but I've never really seen his own channel, only on other people's show.
Interesting.
Can you go back to saying when you saw these clowns? Like, what do you mean?
Ever been to a circus? Like the people with the red nose, and they were doing all sorts of tricks, and they had this little car and the big shoes. It's real. Those are like ancient costumes that go back to every culture worldwide, every continent. They're venerating ancient things,
which might be why we have like an innate fear of like snakes, reptilian kind of things, and oftentimes I think innate fears of clowns.
Yeah, the Shriners, their clowns go to children's hospitals and visit the kids, and
Right.
there's
But they
only
also
there's only
heavily
two
fund.
reactions to something like that. It's either really happy or really scared. So either of those emotions, they're just eaten up energetically, in my opinion. But yeah,
Yeah. I mean, not all clowns are bad, though, right? Okay.
yeah, I'd have to talk to him myself.
Right. Not all people that dress up as clowns and do that and go to the hospitals for children. There are people in the community that have done that.
Some are
It's
well-meaning.
for good intentions. But what I'm curious about is how the costumes and the pictures and everything of clowns have evolved. Because if my memory goes back to older pictures of clowns, it was depicted more, they looked more evil and that kind of thing. And now they've made it more cartoonish in a lot of cases. I mean, obviously you have people that still make them scary and all that, but and why they would do that? What was the original purpose of that imagery and how it's evolved?
I mean, in that book, some examples, it was more of like a tribal thing, like for a rain dance or shamanistic practices. And yeah, they're saying the court of jesters, that's a body within the Shriners. So yeah, they really like this. They're really into it.
Right. Here, I'm going to just go ahead and read this description so that people can know, because I think there's a lot in this. This is the Nephilim Look Like Clowns, Volume 1, The History. So I don't know how many volumes this is. Have you read the other volumes?
He hasn't made it yet, but I will.
Okay. So Paul Stobbs, when you hear the word clown, what is the first thing that comes to mind? It probably isn't giant bloodthirsty predators who ruled over humanity after usurping all the earthly kingdoms of an antediluvian age. Likewise, when one imagines Nephilim, it would be absurd to conjure up a scene of white-faced circus performers honking their horns and making fools of themselves in colorful costumes, right? The half-divine, half-mortal offspring of the Watchers have been a contentious field of study for theologians and Christian contrarians for a long time. However, while most have focused their efforts on proving the existence of these beings, until now, no researcher of the Nephilim has ever stopped to ask themselves earnestly, what did these monsters really look like? With respectful observation of ancestor spirit worship cultures, historical facts, and a tongue-in-cheek passion, this book series bridges the gap between the seemingly disparate words Nephilim and clown. After reading this book, you will know that circuses are no joke. They are occult rituals. You will recognize that the clown, as we know it today, is a purposefully crafted caricature of a much more ancient and fearfully colorful predator still hunting us today. You will understand that Nephilim looked like clowns. Ooh, that gives me shivers, man.
I'm scared.
Yeah, that's
Pennywise.
Right, and that's one of the things that I think Mark lined up here. Let me pull that up there because this was one of the movies when I was a kid, the original. Now I know they did a remake or whatever, a little more cinematic, but this, in my opinion, was still more haunting in a lot of ways. The original 1990 drama horror mystery, Stephen King's It. Now Stephen King is like that Bob guy, fucking nutcase. Who knows what's going on with that? But in the 1960s, 7 preteen outcasts fight an evil demon who possesses a child-killing clown. 30 years later, they reunite to stop the demon once and for all when it returns to their hometown. And this shit was scary as you know what. Right there in line with something that was brought up earlier, which was Pet Cemetery. And this is why, Moses, I will not ever clone one of my animals and be excited about it. Oh, there's a cat on the front too. I never even knew that.
That's where the story started when they were, the cat died and he went and buried the cat, and then it ended up being the little boy because of the cat, the success of the cat, from what I can remember. And the parents were like, the guy was saying something like, "Well, there is one way to bring your kid back."
The original Frankenstein, Fred Gwynne, But Stephen King, man, he's a psychopath. Probably just being led by the spirit of the Shriners, spirit of the Nephilim clowns,
Yeah.
to write this kind of crap. It is scary as shit. And if you're going to create something that isn't a natural entity, not from the creator, something lab created and manipulated, you're talking about something that easily I would think would possess a demon or something evil. I would not ever do that. Woo! Well, anyways, we're go ahead.
Once you pass, your soul leaves, you're an empty vessel. So something else can inhabit that vessel, right? Just like how they abuse someone to suppress them enough to allow something else to take over.
Hillbilly Hart says, add an extra box of slugs to the ammo purchase this week. Thanks, Booma. Exactly, right? Some of this shit is creepy as heck. That's a good idea. Everybody should consider that if you're in guns at all and protecting you and your family. What is this? What is going on? Some of the weirdest fucking people are showing up. Oh God. Anyways, we are a little bit past the 3-hour mark. I don't want to go too much longer. I've really appreciated this conversation. Anybody else want to? But we can continue. Final words, if you will. Anybody wants to chime in? Anything that we missed? I think we're going to do another one of these. Bring a little bit more information to the table. There's a few more people that I think wanted to jump on this and weren't capable of making it. And then all of a sudden, Liz and Sabrina show up. Sabrina says, "Don't forget bullets run out on synthoids. Cut the backs of their knees." She keeps saying, "Cut the back of the knees of those synthoids." I'm not looking for that.
Listen to what she says.
I need to get a sword, I guess.
Yes, everybody needs. I actually have a samurai sword now. It's freaking.
I was just thinking about getting swords and doing sword like yoga or something. I don't know.
Right. And there's hatchets. I mean, if you want to get a battle axe, that's I think Chattahoochee Lee, I think you would look awesome with a battle axe, and you got that young strength, so you could swing it around. Moses, I think two swords, bro. Yes. Mark, you look like a staff man, but maybe the staff could also have an extended like blade that comes out and then retracts. That'd be sick, right? I think I'm more of a bow staff guy. I do have the samurai sword though, and I am the ninja, the naughty ninja at times. So I better learn how to wield it. Mac, what do you think? What do you want? You're a big guy. You could have one of those freaking balls that they swing around that have the spikes on the end. What are those called?
I feel like that's more of a villain weapon, though. I don't know.
Oh,
It's called a mace.
Mace, yeah.
Oh, there you
You
go.
got to use the weapons against them.
There you go. That's it.
Well, what's your weapon then? Go ahead, choose. You choose. I don't choose for you.
My weapon. Oh man.
First thing that comes to mind. Come on.
You said it. I'll go with mace. You already put it on me.
All right. I think you're a big guy. I think you can handle it.
All right.
It does some damage. Robin, what is your weapon of choice? And then we'll go to the ladies.
I think I'll manage with a stick.
You're gonna go old school, man. Yeah. You're so badass. All you need is a fucking stick.
Exactly.
Well, Mark probably will rock the stick. I added on a little thing. I don't want to speak for Mark. Mark, what would you wield? I said a bow staff with maybe an extended blade coming out, but what do you think?
I'm not sure in terms of physical weapon. You've probably got me down with the staff. I might pull out some technology, but otherwise, I think in the end, all of the things you're describing are tools. It's actually the individual holding and using the tools that is the real weapon.
There you go. And yeah, Sabrina says, go for the back of the knees when the synthoids emerge. And Biscuits, he says he prefers Mossberg 5.9. Yes, that would be, I guess, a preference. Sure. I'll take that. All right, Cass. Weapon of choice.
I don't know if you can see above me. Okay, so I have.
Oh shit! She's already got it.
I knew it.
I can't see it.
You can't see that? Here, hold on.
No, because I'm on my phone.
Bam!
I'll send you a picture.
Oh, nice.
So, but no, I want a sword. Working
You
on
do want a
someone.
sword? Okay, you have a
Mhm.
sword on you.
You ever watch Walking Dead? You know, have you ever
Yes,
seen that? And you know
exactly.
how she let, yeah, that's about
Long
that.
range, and even when they get close range, you can shoot, pull it out instantly, and then stab in the head, and then you pull out your sword when
Yeah.
you need it. Fuck yeah, Cass has this figured out. That's why she watches vampire movies. Anyways, all right, Heather, what's your weapon of choice?
Staff. Bow staff.
You go
That's what
bow
I,
staff?
well, I mean, I have a makeshift one, that I swing around.
All right.
It's a broomstick handle. It's a wood broomstick handle that I just took the end off of, and that's my staff. That's what I work out with. Been swinging around a stick since I was 16.
I love it. Yes, crossbow is what Veronica Rabbit.
I call myself Ninja Girl.
Yeah, she's the
Well, there
ninja
you go.
girl. You got to have a blade on you though, so you can cut the back of the knees. But use the bow
That's
staff.
fine
when you can.
too.
Knock them down with the bow staff.
That's
Cut the
fine.
back of the knees. They can't do shit. Sabrina says, "Well said, Mark. Elongation and extension of awareness." Yes.
Yeah.
That'll be the next classes, right, Sabrina? Where we will use weapons and hand-to-hand combat, weapon-to-weapon combat. Beautiful.
Well, we could pray the Wi-Fi away.
Yes, we should work on praying the Wi-Fi away as well. And with that, in closing, one of the new guy, Chada Hoochie Lee, would you like to pray us out? A prayer against the Wi-Fi. Just joking, bro. Just playing, man. I hope you didn't believe I was actually going to do that on you. But no, it was so nice having you on for the first time. Robin, a first timer. So good to have you on, sir. I've seen you in the Telegram chat, and it's a joy. I'm really excited about some of the people that are coming on and getting some new faces in here and having these conversations. Moses, you didn't bust out the blanket. We didn't have a blanket war with Cass. I'm a little bit disappointed. Oh shit, you did it! Oh damn! All right, here we go.
But I told him, I was like, I'm not gonna keep freezing every Sunday in front of my friends, so I'm gonna keep the AC at the highest setting. So that's why I didn't bust out the cover.
All right. Both blankets look really comfy, though. I don't think we need to do any vote here. It makes me want to have like a comfy, like Snuggie or a blanket or something on me. I don't know what it is.
Oh, Snuggie, yeah.
Yep, the old Snuggies. Monica, I appreciate you. Yes, Moses got his blanket. He snuck it in. I didn't even see it. That was very crafty, sir. Yes, and I think we'll do another Bloodlines at some point. I'll work that out with Heather. Heather, again, thank you for organizing all this. Heather, you have anything to say in closing? Having brought a lot of this together.
Oh, well, I just appreciate everybody being here and do their input and everything. As always, it's a blast. And,
Right.
Love it.
Everybody added. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried about this one coming in. Not sure if it was gonna become what we had hoped it was, and this exceeded my expectations by a long shot. Matt, thank you for your information. Everybody that joined had awesome input and awesome shares, and man, I'm looking forward to more of these. So we'll I think we'll continue this series. We'll see. We always change it up or whatever on the Booma community Streamas, but eventually we'll have another one on the Bloodlines. So God bless you all. Thank you, everyone that showed up. I don't wherever you've been, Sabrina, you should have been here earlier. Just playing. Hope you're safe and say hi to Firewall for me. Good to see Liz coming in. April's still in the house. Joanne, Veronica Rabbit. Got to get you back on, Velvet. And yes, Coley. Good to see you all. God bless you all. Look forward to catching you on the next one. Peace.